How's going, guys? Welcome to the channel. I'm back with another banger for you all. Huge shout out to Dragon537 for this story. If you wants to see awesome fanfiction like this, don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get into the video. Huntsman's Mimicry. Pay attention, Naruto, this is business. A black-gloved hand slammed on the table. The teenager glanced to the orange-haired man to his right before dropping his gaze to the glass he was loosely touching. You know it's about time you came into the family business, you're old enough. Yeah, Roman. Naruto quickly downed the liquid in the glass. Hey Junior, need another one over here. He slammed the glass down, turning his body to face Roman. So, you want me to become a world-renowned thief like you? Sounds boring. A fighter for hire gives a better rush, believe it. Hey, it pays well. Roman chugged his own drink. And all you got to do is steal a little dust. I'll think about it. Naruto looked down as Junior slid another drink into his arms. Tell me how much you make on this job and I'll decide. He picked up the glass, spinning its contents. Us working together reminds me when we met for the first time. You, a petty thief about to be caught by police, gave me, a beggar, some cash to show you my hiding spot. Then Neo, the daughter of the people I robbed, just followed us, not saying a single word. She just smiled. Roman chuckled. It's just been our group of criminals since that day, our little family. Naruto snickered. I forgot how old you are, Dad. I'm only 27. Roman smacked the blonde's arm. No way in hell am I old enough to be your dad, Blondie. Hey Naruto. The two men paused their conversation. Junior leaned over the bar with a slip of paper and a stack of cash. I got another problem. Backstabbing pigs that need to be dealt with. You want to pay them a visit. Plucking the slip of paper with 2 fingers, Naruto skimmed over the contents with a dull look. Too much for your boys then. He glanced at the almost symmetrical-looking thugs guarding the place. Silently Naruto picked up the stack of money, weighing it. All right, Junior, I'll go and say hi. The blonde stood up, finishing his drink, and pocketed the cash. Catch you later, Roman. Bring Neo next time, and pay the bill. Naruto winked as the orange-haired man groaned. Waddling up the stairs to the exit, a blonde stood at the top overseeing the club. Both gazed at each other as Naruto walked past her, blowing a kiss, but quickly left before she could retort. Work time. Naruto stretched. Like his adoptive brother, Naruto wore the red-collared suit, gloves, scarf, and pants, all except the bowler hat. Unlike Roman, he had swapped the color scheme of white to black and black to dark gray. Here we go. He strolled into an inn on the outskirts of town. Not many people here. Perfect. Naruto sighed, walking up to the front desk. Hey kid, aren't you a bit young to be here yourself? A man in his 40s wearing a plain dress shirt stood at the other side of the desk. Seeing no reaction from Naruto, the man grunted. So you want a room or a meal? Nah, you're alright. Naruto reached behind him. I'm just here to pick up a debt, Charles. With a click, Naruto spun himself to the side as a 2-sided spear expanded in his hand. You really should respect your clients, it pays well. Hey, easy now. Charles held up his hands. This is about Junior, right? You know his guys suck, and how about I pay you a little something and we can be on our separate ways? Naruto glanced around as the patrons of the inn looked to be getting ready to fight. You'll pay me? Naruto smirked while the thugs seemed to calm down as Charles smiled in relief. Of course. Here, Charles hurled some lean on the desk. That's all the money I have on me. You'll let me go, right? Grabbing the money, Naruto nodded to himself. Very nice. But I like Junior better. Pocketing the money, Naruto pointed the spear at Charles. Business is business. The blade of the spear split slightly. Goodbye. With a click, a grenade of dust shot from the spear, exploding Charles on impact as well as a large chunk of the desk. Spinning on his heels, Naruto twisted the spear, smacking an incoming thug across the room. Do you all wish to dance with me? Grinning, he twisted his spear and the blade on the bottom split as well. Come, clicking 2 triggers, Naruto fired the grenade to the right while a rifle shot to the left. Spinning the spear rapidly, he faced the left and leaped forward. Throwing the spear at one thug, the weapon bounced back to his hand as it made contact. Landing in the middle of the thugs, Naruto spun his body along with the spear and clicked the triggers, sending a full circle of dust energy around him. Are you done already? Naruto looked around to see all the normal thugs knocked down. You should have took the money and left. Charles glared, holding a Tommy gun. Wasting no time, Charles auto-fired. Naruto, bored at the attempt, twisted the spear to block all the bullets. Shifting slightly, Naruto fired the rifle blade, knocking the Charles' aim off the blonde. Using the time, Naruto jumped forward and shot backwards to propel himself faster. Kicking forward, Naruto knocked the gun from Charles' hands while the man stumbled back, falling down. And you should have just paid your debt. Naruto stepped on the man's chest, pinning him down. Less hassle that way. Aiming the spear at the man's head, Naruto smirked. Business is business. The rifle shot echoed for a moment before silence entered the inn. Transforming the spear back to a small knife-looking weapon, Naruto hid it under the flap of his coat and left the inn. Now that's a good amount of cash for one night. Stepping out of the inn, he looked up to the broken moon. As crap as I remember. Naruto sighed as a small object hit him. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump into you. I was just reading and didn't look and I hit you and, I'm Ruby. Naruto blinked at the small girl as she waved, flustered. Right, it's fine, I'm Naruto, he waved back. Huh? Ruby tilted her head in confusion. Sweat dropping, Naruto pointed to his ears. Realizing she was wearing blaring headphones, Ruby shook them off with an awkward giggle. I'm Naruto, he groaned for the second time. So why is a little girl like you doing in this part of town at this hour? Naruto stepped to the side. Ruby blushed and turned away. Girl stuff. Gross. Well, have fun with that. Naruto walked to pass her but noticed the stars in her eyes. Is something wrong with you? Cool, you have a weapon too. What is it? What? What? Come on, tell me. Ruby was almost jumping as she tried to get glances at his weapon. She lifted her cloak, showing off a box. See, here's mine. It turns into a badass scythe and I can swing it like whoosh, wham, bam. Hua. Ruby continued her sounds as she made terrible hand movements of her fighting. Naruto subtly rolled his eyes as the girl stopped her movements. It's a spear. Putting his hands in his pockets, Naruto strolled past the girl. Hey, wait up. Ruby skipped to catch up with the blonde. So are you going to Beacon then? Remaining silent, Ruby's eyes sparkled. No way. Are you a huntsman? It's my dream to become a huntress, so meeting someone like you would be amazing. I'm not a huntsman, nor have I applied to go to Beacon. Naruto sighed. Why not? It's like so awesome. Ruby moved in front and stopped, making Naruto stop. Are you going to a different school? But why would you be here? Are you too young to apply? You love to talk, don't you? Naruto tilted his head. Boring. No, doesn't matter. No, he answered her questions and continued walking. Let me ask you a question. Why are you still following me? After all, we just met. Because I just got here and you can be my first friend. Ruby gave a thumbs up with a small laugh. Friends with a 13-year-old? That's just perfect. Naruto chuckled as Ruby's face vaulted. 15. I'm 15 years old. Ruby did a mixture of stomping and jumping while Naruto passed her. Groaning, Naruto put a hand to his face. I need some ramen. If you still want to follow me, I'll buy you some milk. Shorty. I am average height. I am just little boned, she pouted. But can I still have some milk? Ruby made a peace sign, earning another but not the last sigh of the night. Look, Naruto, all I am saying is that I don't want you drinking yourself to death. Evernight Jr. shook his head as he poured a couple of drinks between them. I won't stop you. It's your decision and all that. I don't worry about me, Junior. I got an iron stomach. Naruto emptied the glass and sighed. But I guess you have to be worried about blondes now, don't you? Junior groaned into his drink. I hope more than your stomach is iron. The two men turned their heads to the woman that took a seat. Your best red wine, spiced if you can, and give him a top-up, she smirked. Yes, of course. Junior nodded, noticing the atmosphere. He stepped back to get the drinks. Oh, Naruto chuckled. First time a proper mature woman has hit on me. The woman growled, her eyes glowing in anger. Keep talking like that and you won't get a chance to brag. Naruto tensed with every word. I did not come here for a one-night stand with a boy, Naruto. So you know who I am. Let me guess, you have a little job for me? No way in hell is someone like you law-abiding. Naruto reached over, taking the glass Junior put down. Only he took the wine and pushed his glass to the woman. Sorry, wanted a different taste. It's not a small job. She picked up the glass ignoring the switch drink. It would be quite a long and dangerous one, but I will pay well. She placed a large stack of lean on the table. A first installment, as it were. So, who's the lovely woman I'm working for? Naruto leaned over in her direction. She put the glass down, spluttering at the strength of the drink. She wiped mouth with a glare. Cinder, say. Giggling, Naruto pocketed the money. Shall we discuss the job in a more private place? Cinder stood up glaring but motioned him to follow. Why is everyone so grumpy? He quickly chugged what remained of both drinks and stumbled after her. So let me get this straight, Naruto sighed. You want me to attend Beacon Academy to become some noble huntsman or something? Why? I'll tell you more details after. Cinder clapped as some thugs opened a large factory door. First you will have to prove yourself. Is that why you brought me to a cliché abandoned warehouse? At least clean the place. He shook his head. Now what's this about proving myself? You are a mercenary after all. It's just a fighting test. Cinder glanced behind her as she led Naruto through the warehouse. You can handle that, right? She stated. Both remained in silence for the rest of the time walking. Glancing around, Naruto raised his eyebrow at the thugs with the white fang symbol on their backs. We're here. Cinder stopped. These will be your associates, Emerald and Mercury. Cinder, you're back. Emerald hopped up towards the woman. Yes, and I am back with the fourth teammate. We will need to infiltrate Beacon. Cinder presented Naruto forward. Aren't we a bit early to get someone? Mercury sighed, reading a comic. No, I've decided entering Beacon directly will be more advantageous than getting in through the tournament. Cinder smirked. Mercury, stop reading that stupid comic and get up. You'll be testing him. She snapped her fingers. Naruto, complete this test, and you will be hired fully. Cinder moved over to the side with Emerald following her. Lovely reception. Naruto grabbed his weapon from his back, fully extending the spear to its full length of slightly larger than most people. So just got to beat your ass and I'm in, nice and easy. Hey, you wish Mercury got into a brawler stance. Naruto twisted the spear and pointed at the silver-haired boy. Let's G. Whoa, he stopped to avoid the bullet Naruto shot. My finger slipped. Naruto deadpanned. Frowning, Mercury leaped forward, kicking. Naruto spun his spear, hitting his kick to parry him. Charging forward, Naruto quickly whacked Mercury on his side but never got another chance as Mercury began to block with his kicks. Before the blonde realized, after a horizontal swing of his, Mercury had managed to grab the spear and used it to spin himself, kicking Naruto brutally on his forehead. Stumbling back, Naruto quickly spun his spear like a fan to halt Mercury's assault. Okay, you're better than most pricks I fight, guess I'd better get a bit serious. Naruto closed his eyes and lounged forward, touching the ground with his left hand. Let's see how you like this. Naruto's eyes snapped open as the dust and dirt rose up, heating up to crystallized shards. He flipped his spear around and pointed it at Mercury. The shards shot towards Mercury, who seemingly breakdanced to block with a flurry of kicks. Idiot! Naruto shot a grenade, exploding at the boy's feet. What the hell was that? Mercury dusted himself off. Naruto shrugged, snapping his fingers as the ground under the brawler exploded. Taking the chance, Naruto shot himself forward, kicking the boy in the face before spinning to hit Mercury's back as he landed. Twisting his body around, Naruto swiped his spear around, hit the boy in the gut, followed by a right jab on the nose. Grr! Mercury jumped back before leaping forward, shooting from his boots, all blocked by a spinning spear. However, Naruto was unable to block the kicks to his chest, sending him skidding back on the ground. Rolling back, Naruto pushed himself to his feet, quickly raising his spear in defense of a powerful kick. Pushing him away, Naruto heated up more dirt into hardened shards, but the shards fell harmlessly at his feet. Time's up. Naruto peered forward at Mercury with a raised eyebrow. He doesn't have a semblance? Naruto glanced to the side at Cinder and Emerald. Cracking his neck, Naruto stared at Mercury, who was giving him the same treatment. Interesting. Mercury leapt forward, kicking down on the space in front of Naruto. Huh! Emerald! Mercury yelled at the green-haired girl. What? She crossed her arms, uncaring. Shouldn't you pay attention? Mercury twisted his head around to a spear pointing at his face. Boom! Naruto shot the rifle directly at his face. Headshot. He flipped the spear around, shooting a grenade at Mercury's chest. So Cinder has some fire-related semblance. Emerald has an illusionary semblance and poor Mercury doesn't have any. Naruto crouched down slightly, ready to pounce as Mercury was already up again. Alright, I've seen enough, Cinder stated, but loudly enough everyone froze. Interesting display of skills. Well, thanks, it was nothing really, Naruto winked. Cinder nodded sarcastically. Yes, I'm sure it was. She stepped closer to him. I could help but notice how you managed to copy mine and Emerald's semblance. How did you pull off that trick? Cinder walked around him in a circle. Your semblance, perhaps. Naruto rolled his eyes, knowing he wasn't getting away without telling. Yes, it was my semblance. I call it mimicry because I copy someone else's semblance for a brief amount of time. He blinked, waiting for a reaction. I better not tell them the limit of my semblance. That's cool, man. Shame you can't copy someone else's jokes. Mercury crossed his arms. Ignore him. It's best that you do. Emerald jabbed Mercury in the chest. Your name was Naruto, right? That's right. Naruto sheathed his spear to its small form and put it on his back. Nice to meet you. Emerald, wanna go and get a drink? After he winked, getting an eye roll in return. Alright, Cinder, what's the plan? He shot her with gun hands, getting a grumble. Nobody here is any fun, he sighed. Well, we will need to objectively get on a single team, and I can discuss what happens after nearer the time. However, I have individual tasks set out. Cinder put a hand on her hip. Mercury, you will be making sure Roman doesn't overstep or slack off. Naruto raised an eyebrow but kept his mouth shut. And protect him from little girls too. Mercury chuckled quietly to himself. A glance from Cinder quickly stopped that. Right, just keep him in line. Emerald, you will be with me. We have some searching to do. The green-haired girl nodded in approval. And Naruto, due to your lovely personality, you will make friends with other students and teachers. You will keep tabs on their abilities, personalities, and inform us of any potential threats they may pose. Sounds easy enough. Naruto winked. So Cinder, want to grab another drink? We got a while till the entrance ceremony starts. Cinder rolled her eyes. Why are drunks such good fighters? She sighed. Fine, I could use some company while I go over some work. Long story short, I got in there. Naruto nodded to himself. Long story short, my ass. If that really happened, you wouldn't have come here sober. Junior slammed his hands on the table. And why the hell did you start your story with talking to me? I remember the conversation, thanks. Hey, who said you could judge me? My storytelling is on point. Naruto slammed his hands on the table. Sure, I was not completely truthful at the very end, but come on. Hey, I can judge you. I'm the only guy that owns a club you aren't banned from. That, and you come here every night to get wasted. Junior jabbed his finger. Like I could get wasted on this watered-down shit, Naruto sneered. He turned his attention to Junior's men that began to surround them, obviously trying to protect their paychecks. Sit your asses back down, we are trying to have a conversation here. The blonde flipped them off. Holding a hand to his face in an attempt of restraint, Junior waved them off. Damn right, you piss off. Naruto, you're the one pissed, Junior groaned. SSSHHHH, that's a lie, Naruto giggled. Cinder may have spiked my drink to shut me up, yet here I am getting more drinks, ahaha. Junior shook his head. I don't know whether to be impressed or worried. Impressed, my man. I'm unspikeable. Naruto jumped up. Oh my god, I had the best idea ever, he grinned. If I can find what she spiked me with, I can turn them into shots. Just go home, Naruto. Mel, Midia, take Naruto home and make sure he gets there. It will be a lot of trouble to deal with if he doesn't get there. Junior moved over to gently shove Naruto from the table. Don't you touch me. Naruto flailed his arms. Oh god, I love you guys. He turned to give a thug a bear hug. But you're so fucking useless. Naruto. Two singing voices ringed in the blonde's ears through all the club music. Want to come along with us? Well, hello, lovely. Naruto grabbed his mouth for a moment. Wait, no. I'm good, I have never puked in my damn life, I'm not. Crouching in a circle, he vomited all over the dance floor. Oh dear, clean up on aisle 3. Naruto tripped backwards, lying on the floor. Whoa! When did you guys get so tall? Junior waved over a couple of men. Could you girls just get him out of here already? Whatever. Mel and Midia spoke in unison as they grabbed Naruto's arms. Come on, let's go home. But I'll behave, I'm a good boy, believe it, Naruto yelled. Ahaha, I can see up your skirts. Mel sighed while Midia glared. Don't bother Midia, He's not going to remember anything anyways. Fine, Midia moaned. Fine view indeed, Naruto giggled as he squirmed to get away. Naruto, get your ass out of bed already, a yell forcibly woke the blonde from his dreams. Don't shout at me, Roman. It's been a long night. Naruto grabbed a pillow and held it over his head. Let a man sleep. Don't give me that crap. You've been asleep for 2 days, Roman argued, but Naruto flipped him off, even though his surrogate brother wasn't in the room. Don't make me send Neo up there. She's already in my room, dumbass. Naruto threw the pillow off his head. Hey Neo, he droned out, turning his head to the side to see the ice cream-haired girl. Neo smiled, raising her umbrella above her head. Wait. Good morning, Neo. You're looking cute today. She lowered the umbrella with a smile. Neo tilted her head, raising her eyebrow. Fine, I'll get up, Naruto sighed. Neo blinked. Really, you cooked breakfast? Neo, you still put metal in the microwave. Hey, don't glare at me like that. We all know what you did. Or stop saying those things. I never said I could cook, I just never said I couldn't cook. Neo rolled her eyes, grabbing Naruto with the handle of her umbrella. Dragged up to his feet, Naruto playfully shoved her head to stop her. Smirking, Neo whacked her umbrella over his head. Waiting for the girl to turn, he kicked her backside. Turning back, both glared at each other, lightning sparking. Hey, I told you to get down there. Roman stomped into the room. Get down and eat already. It's not easy getting food without robbing the place, you know. You can be lovebirds after breakfast. Yeah, right. A lovebird would wake me up with a kiss, and please, she already rejected me once. Admittedly, I was too drunk to remember. Naruto trailed off. That's why you don't start drinking at 13. Roman pointed his cane at Naruto. I blame video games. Also puberty, Naruto hummed as Neo made a gesture of laughter. Hey, I was just a young boy. I just took a couple of pictures, he pouted with arms crossed as Neo smiled smugly. Oh, shut up, Neo. Ugh, just hurry up, Naruto. Roman leaned on his cane. You're starting work for Cinder today, and you don't want to piss the bitch off. Not like you to talk crap about an employer, Roman, Naruto tooted. Are you still annoyed that I didn't become a thief like you? Well, maybe before, but now you're in the big time, so it doesn't matter. Soon we'll be rich enough to leave this dump, Roman chuckled. Then we can dish that out. Heh, now that will be fun, Naruto rolled his eyes. My breakfast is cold now, isn't it? He shook his head, yawning as he made his way out the room. Reaching into his pocket, Naruto blinked in confusion as he never found the pocket. Damn, I really am out of it, he groaned. Have I been naked this whole time? Neo smiled while Roman shook his head in disapproval. Hey, don't give me that, Neo. Smoking cigars is much worse for your health than drinking, he commented on her narrowed stare. Not when you drink vodka instead of water, Roman deadpanned. Now you are just speaking gibberish. Water is clear, vodka is clear, they're the same thing. Now if you'll excuse me, I got some breakfast to eat, Naruto swaggered. Neo, make sure he gets dressed before he leaves. Neo nodded as the orange-haired man left. Alright, where's the ship I have to get on? Naruto glanced around. Isn't that a surprise? He strolled through the crowd. Yo, a hand grabbed Naruto out of his thoughts. Spinning around, he knocked the hand from his shoulder. You're the friend my sister made, right? A blonde pointed to the other blonde. What? I swear I have never seen you before. Naruto slowly pushed her finger down. The blonde jumped in realization. Oh, I'm Yang, Ruby's sister. Ruby. Naruto squinted his eyes. Oh, you mean the short one. I am not short. Yang put her hands on her hips as she rolled her eyes. Curious, Naruto peered round Yang's back, noticing a red hood individual hanging to the back of her sister. Ruby closed her eyes sheepishly. Hi, wow. She tumbled back, falling off her sister. What are you doing, shorty? He asked, but Yang moved to his ear. Ruby here was so excited that she made her first friend here, so when she pointed you out I just had to embarrass her, Yang whispered loudly. So I came over with a Yang. Yaening, Ruby groaned, sat up pouting. Why do you have to embarrass me? Yang just smirked before giving Naruto a look up and down. I got to say, Ruby, you never told me that you started to take an interest in boys. She grabbed Naruto in a loose headlock. So you like the bad boy look, eh? Ruby. I do not, Ruby huffed. He's just a friend that also happens to be a boy. She crossed her arms. You have friends that are boys too. Calm down sis, I'm just messing with you. Yang waved off the argument. Naruto Tsutate rejected and I didn't even ask her. Hey Yang, how about we become the golden couple? Yang glanced down confused but noticed the hair color between them both. That was a stretch, but I like your style. She flicked his forehead and shoved him out of her headlock. Wait, Naruto, why are you here? I thought you weren't going to Beacon. Ruby paused. That was the plan, but my brother wanted me to do something except laze about, and I didn't want to work with him, so I decided to come here. Naruto shrugged. I mean, I can fight, and Little Red was so enthusiastic about it, so you know, here I am. Heh, and you were worried about not having any friends join you. Yang nudged her sister. So Naruto, you want to join us? If you applied without going to combat schools, you must have just done the combat tests, right? Naruto nodded. You know what that means, you two can be friends together since you have no school friends here with you. Yang grabbed them both by the arms. Come on, the airship's here. Looking up, Naruto shook his head. That's not an airship, it's a goddamn boat with wings, he hummed as the blonde dragged him along. Glancing to the side, Naruto caught the sight of a silver and green-haired duo. Emerald ignored him, but Mercury gave the slightest of nods. Right, time to work. I need to discover everyone's skills. I guess being a friend would help with that. Phase 1 begins. Cinder smirked, her eyes glowing a bright orange. Fucking hell, Enio, you gave me water, you promised me vodka. Naruto furiously typed his message into his scroll. Glaring at the device, a small ping showed Neo's reply, which was filled completely with emojis. Neo, just because you can't speak any words gives you no excuse not to type them. Naruto twitched as he was responded with a mocking face. Sighing, Naruto slipped his scroll into his pocket with shaky hands. Okay Naruto, you can do this, it's only a day sober. Hey, what's wrong with you? Naruto glanced over to a smiling redhead. Are you nervous? You're shaking quite a bit. No, just wondering about something. Naruto groaned. I just need fresh air. On Naruto, he offered his hand. The redhead took his hand with slight glee. It's nice to meet you, Naruto. You can call me Pira. She put a hand on her hip. Is there anything I can do to help? No, I'll be fine, he internally groaned. Pira Nikos, a national champion 3 times in a row, she could be my hardest challenge here. Hello and welcome to Beacon. I am Glinda Goodwitch. Multiple holograms appeared at each side of the ship. Naruto rolled his eyes, ignoring the announcement, and opted to gaze out the window. Cranking his head around, Naruto looked around the ship, already bored of the window. Alright, I really should gain some friends here to make my job easier. He crossed his arms loosely. I could be with Pira, but if she finds me out, I'm not sure if I can even beat her, much less do it quietly. Or I could remain with those 2 sisters. Pretty sure I can take them down if I need to, but no, Ruby only met Roman. If she fought Neo, there is a possibility she could find the similarities in our fighting. Hey, Mercury stopped in front of Naruto. I'm Mercury, how are you? Naruto, I'm good, nice to meet you. Mercury. Naruto nodded in acknowledgement. Hello, I'm Pira. Naruto almost jumped at her voice, completely forgetting she was standing next to him. Sorry, I'm bad at this. Mercury rubbed the back of his head. Meeting new people is not specialty. Pira shook her head. Don't worry about it, we all have stuff we are bad at. Naruto subtly grabbed his scroll. What the hell is Mercury doing? Waiting a moment, a text from Cinder pinged. We need to show we can in fact talk to other students. It will look weird if we just keep to ourselves all the time. Why did you send him over to me then? Naruto smiled as Pira told a joke but didn't really pay attention. He was meant to. Look, just go along with it. It will be more natural if friends manage to get in the same team together, he sighed. Would you look at that, we're landing, Naruto stated with a twitch. Staying with Pira won't be a good idea. Too strong and popular for my tastes. It will be hard to do my job around her. Noticing Pira gazing out the window to see the view, Naruto walked away as a small crowd of people also moved to the window to get a better view. MMFHT. Naruto's eyes followed a blonde run slowly past him, his hands covering his mouth. If he gets motion sickness, then it's likely he has never done high-speed combat. The weak link, probably a terrible drinker as well. Naruto grumbled. I need a drink, he twitched. Hey Naruto, that's where you ran off to. Yang tugged his arm harshly, spinning Naruto right around. RWBY thought you ditched her, Yang giggled. Yang, we just went over this. I don't like Naruto in that way. RWBY put her hands on her hips. Your jokes are getting worse by the day. RWBY, denial is a terrible thing after all. We already had a date with milk and ramen. Naruto rested his arm on Yang's shoulder to lean on her. Oh no. I can tell what's happened. I've been friend-zoned. He held his chest in fake pain. Looks like the rose I tried to pick had thorns. Yang snickered. Oh my RWBY, you're looking a little red there. Both RWBY and Naruto rolled their eyes at the joke. Get it, because she's wearing a lot of red. Yang finger gunned both of them. You're as bad as each other, RWBY pouted. And you two aren't helping either. Naruto put his hands up to calm her down. Don't worry, RWBY, you might be a bit young for me. And a bit too easily embarrassed. He moved his face forward, leaving about 6 inches between them. Whoa, too close, too close. RWBY stumbled back, tripping backwards. Ow, her eyes spun in circles. Shaking off the fall, she pointed accusingly at Naruto. Not funny. You've not been to many clubs, have you? Even most teenage parties have rave dancing, right? Naruto chuckled. Oh, you like hitting the clubs too? Yang raised her hands. Maybe we could go dancing sometime? Ooh, sounds fun. Naruto grabbed Yang's waist as they shuffled, doing a soft, grinding dance. I'll dance, but we will need some drinks. Hey! What are you two doing? RWBY blushed as she stared at them. Planning a night out on the town. Yang rushed to her sister's side. You want to come, sis? You never came with me before. Not that, I meant when you two started touching. RWBY poked her fingers together. Yang waved it off. Oh, I sometimes forget how silly you are. She pulled RWBY's hood over the girl's face. That's just club dancing, but I doubt you would do anything more than that. Don't worry, shorty. There's other dances with less contact we can show you on the night. Naruto winked. Everything is going to plan. The three turned to the blonde that was running around to see him partially throw up. I guess the view isn't for everyone. Yang sighed. Well, we're basically here, so we won't have to see that much longer. Naruto glanced over into the crowd, noticing the gaze from Cinder. Creepy bitch. Finally, Naruto yawned to himself. Well, oh, they left me. He strolled behind the crowd. Excuse me. Coming through. Emerald walked past him. Putting a hand in his pocket, Naruto felt an extra scroll with a sticky note. Transfer data on the main computers? He hummed. Fair enough. Naruto continued his stroll to see Yang and RWBY stop to chat. Wait a second. Naruto glanced to the side. Weiss, exactly like her sister. He gritted his teeth with a frown. No, calm down. You have a job to do. Naruto cracked his neck. Sorry, my friends are here. Yang motioned behind her to a group that appeared. So go make some friends. Don't forget you still have Naruto. She dashed off, spinning RWBY. See ya. Wait, where do we go? Where are our dorms? Do we have dorms? I'm so lost. RWBY collapsed backwards into a pile of suitcases. What are you doing? Weiss yelled, putting her hands on her hips. Sorry. RWBY rubbed her head, still a little dazed. You're sorry? Do you have any idea of the damage you could have caused? Weiss leaned over RWBY in a superiority fashion. Naruto coughed slightly to gain their attention. Forgive me, ladies. May I ask whatever the matter may be? There seems to be quite the ruckus, if I do say so. He bowed slightly, confusing RWBY, but Weiss huffed. May I assist you ladies in any way? A delicate flower such as yourself should not push yourself. Naruto put out his hand out, palm upwards. We're fine, thank you. Weiss gently put her hand on top of his. Finally, at least someone with proper manners. What's going on? RWBY blinked. Oh, forgive me, allow me. Naruto to help RWBY up. Holding his scroll in front of him out of Weiss's sight, he showed a message written down. Don't worry, shorty, I'll save you from getting shouted at. I know posh people. Turning around, Naruto slipped his scroll out of sight. You! Weiss pointed at the blonde. Do you have any idea of who I am? As it happens, yes I do. Naruto stood up straight. You're Weiss, heiress to the Schnee Dust Company, and happen to be a mirror image of your sister. He tensed. And for your information, I'm Naruto Uzumaki. I never heard Winter talk about you before. Weiss crossed her arms. Yes. I heard Winter became quite distant to her family after she became part of the military. Naruto commented. A smart decision. He ended with a whisper. Yes, that's true. Winter never returned to the family home since she joined the military. Weiss looked down sadly. Ruby kicked the ground. Well, this is nice. I haven't forgot about you. Weiss stomped straight to the girl's face, pointing her finger at her. You could have blown us to the end of the world. She snatched a case sitting beside Ruby. This is dust. Ruby glanced at Naruto for help but ended up snickering. What do you think, this is funny? She yelled with Naruto making childish gestures behind her back. Ruby put her hands over her mouth and shook her head. Well, do you? Weiss took out a dust bottle from the case. These could have been damaged because of you. She began shaking the dust bottle back and forth to make a point. Hawk. Naruto dived behind cover, also known as Weiss. Achoo. He flinched hearing Ruby's high-pitched sneeze followed by an explosion. Unbelievable, this is the exact thing that I was talking about, Weiss snapped. I'm really sorry. Ruby stared downward. You. Weiss stopped as Naruto moved between them. I see what's going on here. Naruto pushed the two together. You two want to be friends, but you both are too awkward. Both girls turned their heads confusingly. Yes, I know it's hard to accept these feelings, so how about you kiss? And make out. A sly grin made its way onto his face. Hey, you drop this. Naruto glanced at the brunette before up at her bow, then around at her back. Guess this is the heiress's bottle. More recognition. Finally Weiss glared back at Ruby. Heiress to the Schnee Dust Company. Said to have infamous labor force and questionable business partners, she continued. Wow, how dare Arg! Weiss snatched her bottle as Ruby giggled at Weiss's frustration. Leaving in a huff, Weiss half skipped, half stomped away. I'm sorry, I'll make it up to you, somehow Ruby called. I guess I'm not the only one with a terrible first day. Hey, I'm still here. Naruto whistled. He glanced behind him, noticing the sick blonde was coming closer to them. Sorry. Ruby scratched the back of her head, embarrassed. Oh hey, do you? She turned around, but the brunette was already walking away. Ruby sighed, falling back. Rolling his eyes at Ruby's overdramatic behavior, Naruto leaned forward, grabbing her waist before she hit the ground. Are you always like this? Naruto dragged her up to her feet. No, I'm not. Ruby shook her head. She looked down, a small blush hitting her cheeks. Could you? Naruto followed her vision. Oh, right. He took a step back, noticing his arm was still around her waist. God, she's so childish to blush over that. Has she not had a childhood crush or something? I mean, sure, at that age it can hardly be called a relationship, but surely she's at least hugged a guy before. Hi. The sick blonde slowly approached them. I am Jaune. The boy started to wave but dropped it, chuckling nervously. Hey. I'm Naruto. He gazed Jaune up and down. He's the most opposite of impressive I have ever seen. A couple of juniors boys probably could knock this guy out. Naruto rolled his shoulder. But he does have a lot of aura. At least he has something going for him. Hi Jaune, I'm Ruby. She waved back at the blonde. Wait, aren't you the guy who threw up on the ship? Jaune hung forward, letting his arms dangle. Yeah, I am. It seems Naruto has been successful. Cinder smirked. Now that he has made his way into the student groups, it shouldn't be long until we find out each student's abilities. That'll make the tournament easy, right? Emerald asked. Exactly, and once Naruto is in a suitable position, we will be able to hide in the shadows. Cinder gazed between Emerald and Mercury. It will be a slight wait until the true plan starts, but you two need to be ready. For what? Mercury crossed his arms. The preparations. Cinder trailed off. I'm just saying. Vomit Boy was the first thing that came to mind. Ruby shrugged. Oh yeah, and what if I call you Crater Face? Jaune retorted. Hey, that explosion was an accident, Ruby complained. Right, Naruto? You know, Jaune, I prefer Short Fuse than Crater Face, but to each their own. Naruto shrugged, only to get a punch in the arm courtesy of Ruby. Well, I guess it was only half your fault. You were the one who sneezed, knocked over the dust, and annoyed Snowflake, but you know, make that 51% your fault. Naruto rolled his eyes as Ruby punched him again. So? Jaune echoed through the awkwardness. Are you two a couple or something? Why does everyone think that? Ruby huffed. Well, one reason could be that you started following me after you exploded. That was 10 minutes ago. Naruto glanced back to Jaune. But to avoid Shorty getting all grumpy, no, we're not a couple, so if you want to go for it, on you go. No, I didn't mean, well, you know, sorry. Jaune trailed off. RWBY looked around like she could visibly feel the awkwardness. So, I got this, she whipped around revealing her scythe. Whoa, Jaune jumped back scared while Naruto ran his eyes down the weapon silently. Is that a scythe? It's also a customizable, high-impacting sniper rifle. RWBY cocked the gun. What? Jaune blinked. It's also a gun. RWBY cleared with the blonde. So what do you guys have? Naruto shrugged, taking his spear out, spinning it before resting it on his shoulder. Spear nice and simple, it's also a hunting rifle and dust flare launcher. He glanced to his fellow blonde. Regular gun and exploding gun. Right, a sword. Jaune unsheathed his sword. RWBY hummed loudly, trying not to sound disappointed. And I also have this shield. So what do they do? She tapped the shield, springing it from Jaune's grasp. Whoa. Jaune stumbled around trying to catch his shield. Naruto groaned as Jaune finally caught the shield. Well, the shield gets smaller so it's easier to carry her when I'm tired. It still weighs the same, doesn't it? Naruto shook his head. Jaune looked down. Yeah, it does. That doesn't matter. I'm kind of a dork when it comes to weapons. I may have over-designed it. RWBY stood up, her scythe against her. You made that? Jaune asked in surprise. Yeah. All signal students make their own weapons, RWBY stated while Naruto tilted his head. Didn't you make yours? No, it's a hand-me-down. My great-great-grandfather used it to fight in the war. Jaune rubbed his arm nervously. Sounds more like a family heirloom to me. Well, I like it. RWBY tried to cheer the boy up. Not many people have an appreciation for the classics these days. Yeah, the classics. Jaune trailed off. It's fine, Jaune. We all start somewhere. Naruto sheathed his spear and continued walking. Hey Naruto, where are we going? RWBY inquired. Oh, I'm just going sightseeing. Naruto stared upwards. Also, I'm trying to ditch you idiots to meet up with my paycheck bitch. RWBY froze. Shouldn't we go to the initiation? Naruto shrugged. Probably. Oh, make. Hey, I never asked you to follow me. A 13-year-old. Naruto rolled his eyes. Don't give me that look. He squinted his eyes. Behind him was a smaller-looking Neo, just smiling. Yes, I know this job is a bit more dangerous than usual, but you've got. Silence. We are not paying you to blabber. A young white-haired woman wearing a training cadet uniform strolled in front of them. Father has put trust on your reputation as mercenaries. Do not disappoint. Am I clear? Yes, of course, Ms. Schnee. Naruto lowered his head. We promise to not disappoint. Putting a hand on his heart, he bowed slightly with Neo mimicking him. Winter narrowed her eyes in disgust. Failure is not an option. Father wants all the dust to be in one piece once we reach Vale. With that uprising terrorist group, the White Vanguard security has to be at the top. Even if it resorts to hiring vagabonds. Naruto sneered subtly. It seems every bloody Schnee is the same, but Winter are the most stuck-up bitch out of all of them. The train will depart in 500 hours. Winter opened her scroll. You have 3 hours 28 minutes and 15 seconds to do as you please as long as no disruption is made. Be aboard the train 10 minutes before departure or you will lose your payment. Very well, we will take our leave until the contracted time. Naruto bowed his head before turning away. Come Neo, let's go practice. The petite girl nodded, opening her umbrella and resting it on her shoulder. Leading the girl out of the room silently, he glanced back, sharing looks with her. Good one, Neo. If only others could hear you. Neo twitched. What do you mean that doesn't matter? You fine with just me being able to understand? She blinked a couple of times. Yeah, big bro as well, but does he really understand what you are saying? Naruto wondered. Oh, so, he only understands some words. You know, for a master thief I thought he would have that covered by now. Yes, Neo, I know he's a bit slow. Naruto chuckled as she stuck her tongue. I'll love you too, little sis. Neo pouted. I mean, you're only a year older than me, but if I may. He motioned his hand to show the difference between their heights. Neo stomped on his foot. Hey. Easy there, ice cream. Ow. Stop stomping on my foot. Fine, I won't call you little again. Naruto shrugged. I just thought calling you little was cute. Ow, what you mean you want to be called little? You just told me not to. Geez, love you too, little idiot. Naruto rubbed her head. But seriously, don't call me that. He grabbed her in a headlock. What did I say, little ice cream? Neo giggled mutely. What are you doing now? Naruto sighed as Neo snuggled in instead of escaping the headlock. Oh, make end. Ruby, over here. I saved you a spot, Young called out. Oh, Ruby turned to the two male blondes. Sorry, I'll catch up with you two after she rushed off to her sister. Alright, Naruto shoved his hands in his pockets and strolled through the crowd. Hey, wait. Jaune looked down. Great, where am I going to find a blonde and quirky girl to hang out with? You got to stop calling me over Cinder. Naruto nudged her shoulder as he moved to stand next to her. People are gonna talk. Firefly, he drank the water from the flask. Shivering at the contents, Naruto glared at the drink. I'm going to get payback for this, Neo. Watch your tongue. I'm the one paying you, Cinder snapped quietly. Paying me for a job, not useless crap. He tucked his flask into his inside coat pocket. So what did you want? I've been keeping an eye on you. You have been very impressive so far. Cinder crossed her arms. But I know what you are thinking. Do not kill the Schnee. Naruto frowned, his nails sharpening into small claws. Why not? After all they took from me. He glanced at his employer with dark red slit eyes. A spoiled brat will be easily disposed of. True, but she is a high-profile figure. Her disappearance wouldn't go unnoticed. Cinder returned the glance with her own orange glowing-eyed glare. Fine, but there's no way I'm going to keep pretending to. Naruto's eyes returned to their usual blue while his claws turned into nails once more. So Cinder, it's so good to see you after this long time. It's been a few years, hasn't it? Cinder clapped her hands together. I know. It feels so long ago. Time really does fly. Hey, Naruto, Ruby waved ecstatically. Sorry we ditched you earlier. If I knew you and Ruby were so close, I would have saved you a space too. Young winked as her sister flailed her hands wildly. Hey, it's no big deal. I got to meet Cinder over here. Naruto shrugged. She's a childhood friend of mine, and it's been a while. He grunted. The shorty is Ruby, blonde and busted is Yang, and the Tin Knight is Jaune. Say it as you see it, don't you? Yang elbowed Naruto in the gut. Nice to meet ya. Hi, Cinder, Ruby waved. Cinder, you say. Jaune slid forward. A pleasure to meet yo. God. Naruto yanked his hood back. You really yawned him back there. Yang smirked cheekily, gaining rolls of the eyes. Cinder smiled forcefully. Yes, nice to meet you. Perhaps we will meet again afterwards. She walked away slowly, avoiding the crowds. Come on, man. I was just being nice. Jaune pouted as he rubbed his neckline. Why'd you have to do that? Sorry, I just thought it would be better to go out with a Yang. Naruto poofed the blonde's hair. Yang shook her head and playfully glared at him. Dude, never mess with a girl's hair. She might. Ruby placed a hand over her sister's mouth. SSHHHH. No more puns out of either of you. Oh. Jaune hit his hand in realization. That's why Ruby and Naruto get along so well. I thought you two went out, but it's actually Naruto and Yang. What? Yang yelled in surprise. Dude, Naruto patted Jaune's shoulder gently. Don't just jump to conclusions like that. If you're going to say these things, try to put it in a more jokey tone. Naruto stepped back from the blonde. Also, if you aim to tease someone, be smart. Turning quickly, Naruto kissed the air in front of Ruby. The girl in question stumbled back in shock, falling backwards. And know your limits. Catching Ruby's hand before she fell, he pulled her up to her feet. All right. Sorry. Jaune looked down. Geez, man. I'm just trying to help you lighten up. Naruto rolled his eyes. Yeah. We have time to have fun before classes start. Ruby cheered. Yeah. And we can meet new friends too. Yang cheered. Eh? Ruby poked her fingers together bashfully. Do we have to? We already have friends, don't we? She motioned to the two blonde boys. Yang grabbed Ruby in a headlock and ruffled her hair. You really got to get out of this phase. How are you going to make a bunch of friends with that attitude? She grinned as Ruby squirmed and wriggled to get out of the headlock. I'm just not good with new people. All right, Ruby huffed with frizzy hair. I told you to get rid of her. Naruto paced with a scroll to his ear. Yes, I know. That doesn't explain how you failed. I see. He hummed for a moment. All right, just forget about her for now. Track down the mutt and dispose him, along with his dog. Anyone else is not important. Don't fail this job, Zabuza. Naruto closed his scroll and slipped it into his pocket. Those stupid thugs trying to move into my territory. They should have learned last time when I burned their village to a crisp. He plucked a cigar from his pocket. I will not be used by those idiots again. Naruto bit down on the cigar, showing it was made of chocolate. Moving to the main hall, Naruto sighed, putting his happy mask on. It's like a big slumber party, Yang half yelled. Ruby internally groaned as she wrote in a little diary. She ignored Yang diving on the cushions beside her. I'm not sure Dad would approve of all the boys though, rolling her eyes. Yang purred, well I know I do. She smirked, glancing at the boy showing off some skin. The blonde winked. Did Yang just wink at me while giving me that look? Naruto raised an eyebrow coyly. Guess I do just have on a tank top and pajama pants on. Tempting, but I don't want to die to ice cream, he chuckled quietly to himself. Oh no. Hello again. Weiss strutted with an elegant prance. Naruto Uzumaki, was it? Glad you remembered me, Ms. Schnee, or would you prefer Weiss? Naruto nodded slightly to acknowledge the heiress. Damn Schnee, I'll make your ice run red. Weiss is fine, thank you, she smiled. Weiss put a hand on her hip. I just wanted to apologize for my abrupt behavior earlier today. It's perfectly alright, Naruto twitched. I'm used to Winter's accommodating personality, so I'm pretty sure I could accommodate yours. Right? Weiss lowered her head but continued to glance up at the blonde. Actually, I wanted to ask, do you know Winter? Yes, Naruto sighed. She scratched her arms nervously. I was wondering if you could tell me how she's been. You speak of her fondly. I wouldn't really say fondly, but why would you not know? Naruto hummed. Despite her leaving your family, you two are still sisters. I know we're sisters, but she's always busy, and the rest of the family don't really get along with her, so Winter tends to restrict contact. Weiss stepped forward. So I want to know how she's been and what she's been up to. She strutted forward, similar to demanding him with a pleading voice. Naruto stepped back. Should I lie to her? If she did manage to talk to Winter before this job is done, it could be problematic. On the other hand, saying the truth could mess everything up. Closing his eyes, Naruto opened them slowly with a dull gaze. Well, it's been a few months since I have talked with Winter. She's always so stubborn about always working, though, he shrugged. Hardly anyone can make her stop working, but she seems to enjoy working for the military much more than the family business. Naruto clicked his tongue. Winter is a private person, but she looked very happy when she became the general's right hand. Wow, really? Weiss peered with sparkling eyes. Yeah, she's even got a nice cherry lipstick, Naruto hummed. Wait, what? Weiss stomped. What do you mean by that? Sure, people are sleeping. Naruto placed a finger on his lips. We may have gotten a bit intimate during her promotion party. Weiss glared lightly. Geez, giving me that look. That night made me an alcoholic. Naruto rolled his eyes. Come on, Weiss, you know Winter acts all cold, but if you get her relaxed, she is the polar opposite. She huffed. I doubt someone like you could get my sister to behave differently or have the capacity to get intimate with her. Weiss crossed her arms. You're not that special. If you say so. Naruto leaned forward. I did tell a little lie, but do you really think I could lie about Winter? Oh, of course you did, she would never. Weiss mumbled. Shame I'm not cute enough for you, he chuckled, pulling her closer. But sometimes, you just can't resist. Weiss froze as their noses were touching. Not backing away? I'm not afraid of you, Weiss gulped. Schnees don't back down. Naruto nodded okay. He moved his head forward, forcing Weiss to jump back to avoid a kiss. You know, I thought Schnees always moved forward. Shame. He turned to walk away from her. I wonder if she'll find out the only lie was saying there was a lie. Hey. Weiss raised her voice and got a pillow thrown in her face because of it. The blonde paid it no mind, however, as he continued to walk away. Ugh, sober hangover, Naruto groaned, banging his head on a metal locker. Is that even a thing? Emerald wondered, taking twin gun sickles from the locker next to him. Damn right it is. Naruto rubbed his face in frustration. Doesn't matter, won't affect my game. But let me guess, you're going to be in a crappy mood all day. Emerald sheathed her weapons on her hip holsters. Right again. Naruto grabbed the spear from his locker. You know, Emerald, if you could sneak me a drink, I'll give you a favor. Emerald rolled her eyes. Like you could give me anything I want. Are you sure? Naruto moved in front of her. I can give you a lot of things, he winked. Emerald rolled her eyes, pushing past him. Does this mean you won't find me a drink? Naruto sighed, being ignored. Dude, that was pathetic, Mercury stated, attaching the guns to his boots. Oh haha, learn to tie your shoes, you prick. Naruto sheathed his spear on his back. I have not had a drink in 24 hours, but I will still kick your ass. Oh no, Naruto top combatant, don't poke me with your compensating stick, Mercury pleaded. Naruto silently glared at the silver-haired boy. Walking up to Mercury, lightning could almost be visible as they continued to glare. I like your style, you sarcastic bastard. Naruto raised his fist. Not bad yourself, shithead. Mercury bumped the blonde's fist before. Staring from a distance, Ruby tilted her head in confusion. Yang. Yeah, Rubes. Yang locked golden gauntlets on her wrists. How did Naruto do that? Ruby pointed at the blonde. He just insulted that guy and they became friends. Yang grunted in agreement. Do I have to insult people to get friends? Ruby turned to her sister, worry written over her face. What? No, you idiot. Yang ruffled Ruby's hair. That's just guy talk, they don't really mean it. She scratched her chin, noticing the confusion still on her face. Just imagine you had a bad hair day, instead of pointing it out, I would just insult you about hair. So, it's like a code? Would that sound exciting? Ruby jumped in excitement. No, Ruby, just no. Yang sighed. Naruto glanced over at the two sisters vocally talking about them. Well, they're stupid. He rolled his shoulders. See you later, Merc. Turning round to see a black-haired girl by herself, Naruto squinted his eyes. She was called Flake, or was it Wake? Bake. Oh, for God's sake. Well, close enough. His nose twitched. She smells like wet fur. Is she a faunus? Doesn't look like she has much fur, no tail, no ears. He narrowed his eyes on her bow. Having the feeling of being the object of attention, Blake snapped round, meeting Naruto's stare with a hard glare. Do you need something? She twitched in annoyance. Well, your name would be nice. Naruto stepped forward with a hand extended. We really haven't been introduced. I'm Naruto, Naruto Uzumaki. She glanced up and down between his hand and his face. Blake Belladonna. She accepted the short handshake. Did you need something else? Blake asked after a moment of silence. No, it's nothing. Take care of yourself. Naruto smiled, moving to the two sisters. Belladonna? Their whole family was with the White Fang, if I remember correctly, well before the change in leadership. Naruto, you blonde idiot, get over here. Silly. Ruby waved her hands in front of her like a terrible rap artist. What's wrong, idiot? Wanna fight? Yang groaned with a hand covering her face. Naruto looked between Yang and Ruby, confused. Don't bother, she's just trying to copy you, Yang explained. Wah, what you talking about? Ruby replied, sassily crossed her arms. Ruby, calm down. Naruto mocking petted her head. You haven't had your milk today, have you? I have, so that's why I'm so grown up, Ruby boasted. Naruto used his hand to compare heights. Obviously you ain't drinking enough, hun. He stuck his tongue out to match her sass. Hee hee, ha ha. Ha ha. Attack. Ruby pounced on Naruto. Pfft. Children. Yang sighed heavily as she watched the toddlers have a fight. Oh, make. Naruto glared as he grabbed the hilt of the sword hanging from his belt. Neo smiled like usual with her umbrella resting on her shoulder. Unknown to most, both of them were having a full silent conversation. HMFT. Naruto grunted as he charged forward, unsheathing a red Shikudo sword. Neo stepped back to avoid the slash and kept smiling. Twisting his wrist, Naruto did a quick series of swings. Neo continued to step back to avoid being hit but raised her umbrella to block hits she couldn't dodge. Using her petite figure, Neo crouched and opened her umbrella. Like using a shield, she leaped upward, bashing Naruto back. Landing in a back roll, Naruto took his sheath out as it transformed into a shortened rifle. Quickly taking aim, he shot at her feet to make her flip to the side. Leaping forward, Naruto butted Neo in the head with the sword hilt. That decides it, ice cream. I win. Naruto pointed the rifle down at her. What do you mean you win? Neo blinked innocently. I mean, holy, Haya. Naruto panicked as she held the umbrella to his crotch, the blade tip ready to stab. Okay, you win, just move that away, he sighed as his crotch felt safer. Neo clapped in delight as Naruto shook his head. Roman's going to kill me for getting you more ice cream. He sheathed his sword while shaking his head. What are you doing? Neo smiled, handing him her umbrella. Hey, Neo ran behind him and hopped onto his back. You know I can't see what you are saying like this. Naruto hung the umbrella in his belt and held onto her legs. Neo responded by resting her chin on his shoulder. You are unbelievable, he rolled his eyes. Neo, in response, pressed her cheek against his in a manner of trying to say she wasn't. Why do you always do this to me? Naruto tensed. And blood, stop traveling down there, stupid hormones. You could have chosen any time but now. I hear you, too, are Winter froze, looking up and down at them. It's time to depart. She folded her arms behind her back. We still have at least an hour before the agreed upon time of departure. Naruto glanced at her curiously. Winter frowned. You are outsiders, just some hired thugs. Do not question. Only obey. She spun on her heels. Do well to remember that your payment is completely under my control. Very well, Ms. Shini. Naruto bowed his head. Neo jumped off his back with a silent snarl. Naruto lifted her umbrella up. Neo glared daggers into Winter's back as she snatched the umbrella from the air. Naruto placed a hand on Neo's shoulder. SSSHHH. Neo, not yet. He cracked his neck, but it's nearly time. And this is the wild habitat, also known as Emerald Forest, Ashben stated calmly, but his voice echoed loud enough for all students to hear him. Don't look all smug, it wasn't named after you. I never said anything, just shut up, Mercury. Naruto and Cinder looked between them, rolling their eyes at the duo. Taking a sip of his tea, Ashben waited for a small moment, allowing the silence to enter. As future huntsmen and huntresses, it will be your responsibility to enter the field of battle to complete your mission. As such, within this forest towards the north end, you will find some runes. There I have left some artifacts for you to recover and bring back here to pass. However, as you are probably well aware, you will face adversity from the creatures you all are aware of, the Grim. Ashben took a breather and stirred the tea around in his cup. Unfortunately, in these events, none of teachers here will be assisting you should you come into trouble. That being said, every person here will gain a partner should they wish to pass. The first person they make eye contact with within the forest for the next 4 years. What? Ruby screamed in shock. Told you. Nora nudged Ren's shoulder. Once the pair returns from the forest, you both will be graded accordingly. Are there any questions? Ashben asked. I have one. Sir Jaune raised his hands. Good. Ashben brushed off the blonde. Get ready, you will now be using your landing strategy. Everyone stretched and quickly got in position with the exception of Jaune. Naruto crouched down ready to pounce, not getting the chance to hear Jaune's stupid question, being one of the first to be launched. I'm having a good time. Naruto spun around in time to be launched backwards, winking to the others, not caring if they saw or not. Alright, I have to either get Cinder, Mercury, or Emerald as my partner for this job to work. Naruto glanced up and down to keep track of the ground and the direction of his want-to-be teammates. Okay, I see now. Twisting round, Naruto let his claws out. Falling next to a tree, he clung onto a thick branch and swung forward through the air. Using the momentum, Naruto hopped from branch to slow down before dropping to the ground in a forward roll. Shit. Retracting his claws back to nails, Naruto reached up to his eye, taking out a fake blue contact lens. I really got to get better contacts. I can't be bothered with the idiots of the White Fang trying to recruit me again. He wiped the contact and put it back in his eye begrudgingly, hiding the red with blue. So much easier to look like a human after all. Hearing shots, Naruto curiously looked up, noticing Yang propelling herself through the air with her shotgun gauntlets. Amateur. Having to waste rounds to show off. He shook his head. Wish I thought of that. Glancing up again, he noticed the familiar sight of gun boots heading near him. Well, that makes my job easier. Watching Mercury kick his feet together, the silver-haired teen shot downwards to hop gradually lower to the ground. Sup, man? Landing in a crouch, Mercury stood up, taking a step to the side to half-turn in the blonde's direction. Oh great, so it's you I'm paired up with. Mercury put a hand on his hip. You're damn right it is. Naruto strolled up towards him. Shall we go on an adventure? He snickered as they fist bumped each other. Wait, so you and Emerald aren't together? Naruto hummed. Just saying, man, it looked like you two had a thing together. Yeah, right. Mercury flipped to the side, booting a miniature T-Rex Grim in the head with enough force to snap its neck. She's always in a mood, like literally all the time. It's like it's her time of the month, every day. I really wouldn't say that. Naruto threw himself with his spear, piecing directly through the hardened back of a boar Grim. Well, at least to her face, pissing off a girl with natural strange colored hair is never really a good thing, he shivered. Trust me on that one. Oh? Hiding something, are we? Mercury grinned, as he turned on his heels to avoid another boar Grim. Naruto clicked his tongue as he rapidly shot 3 Grim in the head. Well, not really. When I was younger I joined a group with a peculiar role model that may have influenced me to peep on my ice cream, and she found out. She kind of, forced we to walk around town in the nude. Dude. Mercury shook his head. Why would you even? He ran up to a Beowulf Grim, kicking it as he almost ran up its body with the amount of kicks. Well, do I, the raging alcoholic, look like I really give a damn about doing something like that? Naruto chuckled. Anyway, we were talking about you and Emerald. Just ask her out or something? What, just go and ask Grumpy? Mercury crossed his arms. Yeah, need a wingman? Naruto sheathed his spear, noticing all the Grim were dead. I'm good to take along. Trust me, I can easily get into weird situations like they were normal, and people know that 'cause I am a good drunk. Let me guess, I just need to buy you a drink? Mercury rolled his eyes as Naruto winked at him. Hey Naruto, you made it. Both boys looked forward, noticing Yang waving the blonde down. Wow, are we here already? Naruto looked back before at Yang again in confusion. You were the one who insisted on tree hopping most of the way, Mercury complained. So I did. Naruto shook it off. Yang! How you doing? He held out his arms. Shrugging, Yang mimicked him as they met with a hug. I'm good, this test wasn't that hard, and I got here first. They backed up from the hug. And you know Blake, right? Yang pointed back at the darkly dressed girl. Yep, you know Mercy, right? Naruto pointed back. Don't you dare call me Mercy again. It's either Mercury or Mercury huffed. Not to be rude, but don't we have to take the relics back up the hill? Blake pointed out. Heads up. The 4 looked up to see rose petals falling with Ruby, right in the center of it all. A little bit above Little Red Riding Hood was the Ice Queen, trying but failing to stop herself with glyphs. Naruto gleamed perfect. I don't mind catching Ruby, but Weiss can go splat, and I can give the schnees some red crushed ice. Naruto, I'll catch Ruby, you get Weiss, Yang ordered. Naruto soured, but Mercury nudged his shoulder. You remember what Cinder said, the schnee can't die yet, it's too public for our plans. Cracking his neck, Naruto sprinted to the direction of where Weiss was falling. Pausing for a second, Naruto ran and leaped for a tree. Intercepting Weiss on the way, he grabbed hold of her waist and held her like underarm luggage. Leaning back, Naruto slammed his feet against the tree as he landed, quickly kicking off it. Flipping backwards with momentum, Naruto landed back onto the ground, stumbling back. Trying to move his way forward to stay balanced. Naruto fell anyways with the added weight of Weiss. Now that's a pain in my ass. He looked to his side, noticing Weiss trying to recover. Suppose it would be better for me to finish the job myself. Thanks. I guess Weiss spat grass from her mouth. Yeah, just saved your life. I guess it's no problem. Fuck, I need a drink, Naruto grumbled. Being offered a hand up, he raised an eyebrow curiously. Never thought you cared that much, Mercury. Naruto took the teen's hand, allowing himself to be pulled to his feet. Don't count on it too often, Mercury grunted. That was just for the advice earlier. Help me. Oh, what now? Mercury rolled his eyes as Jaune and Pyrrha darted out from the trees, followed by a large death stalker. So everyone is coming to these ruins, but some idiots decided to play with the Grim instead of killing them, Naruto tutade mockingly. Some people have no standards. Twitching, Naruto spun around quickly in time to notice a large Ursa charging towards them. Only for 2 green chain sides to stab its shoulders and pull it back, so 2 swords acting as scissors to decapitate it. Sorry, may I cut in? Cinder smirked, flicking the 2 swords, seemingly out of habit. She's used to having blood on her swords. There is no point in doing that for Grim that have no remains, Naruto shrugged. Go ahead, but that outfit doesn't suit you, Cinder deadpanned him, inwardly agreeing. Wearing jeans, a tank top and a ripped-sleeved tan vest really was too different compared to her red dress. Very flattering. Naruto Emerald walked up smirking. Okay, can you three quit it? Shouldn't we go help them to not look suspicious? Mercury hushed. Yes, we shall. Emerald and I will help with the Nevermore. You two deal with the Deathstalker, Cinder ordered. Gripping his spear tightly, Naruto rushed over to the Scorpion Grim. Run! He glanced between the hammer-wielding girl and the ponytailed boy she shouted to. With a sigh, he rushed in front of the boy holding his spear in front of him. Staring directly in the Deathstalker's multiple eyes, Naruto raised his spear to block one of its pincers. Naruto, he glanced to the side, noticing Pira running in to block its other pincer with her shield. How well are you at defending? Naruto hummed as he and Pira jumped back to avoid the grim stinger. Well. He glanced at Jaune blocking the stinger only to be sent flying on his ass. I would say I'm decent. He flipped his spear around, shooting an explosive dust flare at its face. Alright, do you think you can handle the stinger? I can handle the pincers. Pira motioned towards Ren, Nora and Mercury. Those three can deal with the main body. She turned her head back to Jaune, giving him a kind smile. Jaune, could you help me with the pincers? The boy could only nodded as he stood up. Naruto allowed Pira to charge in first, taking all the attention, while he leaped over the redhead, slashing at its tail. Twisting the spear round, Naruto thrusted the spear forward, piercing its tail. Holding steady, Naruto glanced down, noticing Ren cutting at the eyes while Mercury and Nora bashed in its back. This is way too many people for one Deathstalker. Naruto shoot the rifle part of his spear, using the momentum to chop off the stinger. Coming through! Nora yelled, slamming her hammer on the stinger, putting it directly through the Grim's body. Now that is scary, strong and small, just like Neo. Naruto blinked. No, I will not accept that. One Neo is hard enough to deal with. He turned his head to the cliff. Well, that's interesting. Naruto jumped off the evaporating body of the Deathstalker as everyone in the group glanced at the weird sight of a Nevermore being decapitated going up the cliff. Oh, make. Naruto glanced at Neo as the two had a silent conversation, using their facial expressions to pass the train time. Oh, hurry up, I'm not waiting around here for you animals not to do your jobs. Both glanced to the side as a Schnee worker pushed a red-haired faunus to the ground. The faunus merely gritted his teeth and stood up again. Tensing, Naruto felt a grip on his wrist. I'm fine, Neo. She narrowed her eyes at him. Just give me a sec. Just don't do anything stupid. Neo motioned with her eyes, letting his wrist go. I said hurry up. The Schnee worker banged his gun against the metal wall just to make a point. Naruto swayed over the worker and tapped his shoulder. The hell, man, you scared me. I thought one of those animals touched me. HMFT, I just came over to see what all the noise was. Naruto put a hand on his hip. This one not working properly? No, he isn't. What good is he if he can't work fast enough? The worker complained. Well, better a rusty tool than a broken one. Naruto shrugged. A brief moment of silence passed. So mate, can you take me down the back? I need to guard this train, but only official Schnee workers can pass through doors, without breaking them. The back? The worker looked puzzled but shook his head. Look, man, I can't abandon my post. Just take the brat. They're workers as well. He motioned to the faunus. Naruto chuckled. Workers, right? Neo, come on. He motioned his head to the faunus to get moving. The faunus just growled but walked to the back. Leading them to a metal door, the faunus lifted his arm to a scanner beside the door. Linking with a worker's bracelet, the door slid open, allowing the three to pass. Looking back, noticing the emptiness of the train carriage, Naruto slipped a small box and tossed it to the roof. Neo smiled, placing a scroll on the door's control panel. Hey, what are you two doing? The faunus piped up, looking fed up but a small bit of worry in his voice. Just mercenary work. Naruto sighed in the awkward silence. You hate the Schnees, don't you? The silence from the faunus continued. What's your name, kid? He asked the faunus, even though he looked older. Adam. Adam Taurus, the faunus grumbled. Why do you care? You humans are all the same. You all hate the faunus and treat us like crap. Now that's a bit hypocritical, but I can't blame you. Naruto tossed another cube on the roof as it stuck itself. Although I wouldn't exactly call myself human. He put his hand out, his nails sharpening into claws while his other hand moved to his eye, removing a blue contact lens to reveal a orange-red eye with a slit for a pupil. Although Pretending to be one does have the benefits of getting good jobs. Naruto placed the contact back into his eye. Adam gritted his teeth. If you are a faunus, then why work for the Schnee Dust Company? They are one of the main reasons we are repressed, why we suffer so much. Naruto blinked rapidly as the contact lens went into place. Look at him, just because I'm a faunus doesn't mean I have to help them all. I just help those who I find precious. I gave up helping everyone when everyone never helped me. He stopped in front of another metal door, but I'm not working for the Schnee Dust Company. Naruto grabbed the hilt of his sword. I'm here for myself and Neo here. Taking a step forward, Naruto crouched ready to pounce. Smiling, Neo pushed Adam's bracelet to the door panel, opening the door to a dim storage cart of the train. BZZT mercenaries. Naruto Uzumaki. Neapolitan. Worker. Adam Taurus. Multiple robots emerged from the sides of the carriage. BZZT, please return to your post or be considered hostile. Neo, if you would. Naruto leaped forward, unsheathing his sword, right through the first three robots. The multicolored girl nodded, taking out her scroll and placed it on top of the door's control panel. Clicking a few buttons on the scroll, the control panel changed from the Schnee Dust Company logo to a hexagon symbol with TNN in the center. Geez, what's going on? Adam stepped back but felt the coldness of the steel door, completely locked. You can't get out, Adam. Naruto spun around, slicing the last robot down. Security locks the doors of all main cargo carriages. But Neo here will solve all of those problems. For now, Adam, you have a choice, he grunted. You can leave this train with your job. You may try and fight us, or you can help us and make a lot of lean. But I'll join you. Anything to get away from those human shitbags. Adam clenched his fists. Good. Neo, are you ready? The girl picked up her scroll and nodded. All right, let's go. Adam grabbed the cases with heavily refined dust. Neo were grabbing the equipment. Running over to the end of the carriage, Naruto and Neo stopped at the large crates. Shrugging to Neo, the girl motioned her scroll above the lock as the crate opened itself. Naruto blinked at the contents of the crate before glancing at Neo. Are you sure this was what Roman wanted? Neo gave him a look. Oh well, yeah, I suppose you use an umbrella as a weapon. I suppose a master thief like Roman would use a walking cane to fight. Neo rolled her eye, picking up the cane before moving to the next crate and opening it. Now that is a weapon, Prime Atlas Tech. Naruto nodded to himself. Arm guards to defend attacks, while the gloves can generate a ball made of pure energy that spins like a maelstrom. Then you can add dust to improve its power. Now that's a weapon. Neo rolled her eyes. Hey, don't give me that look, little ice cream. Naruto placed his sheathed sword down on the ground and picked up the boxed generator of the weapon. Strapping it to the back of his waist, Neo held out the gauntlets, allowing Naruto to slip his arms into them. Flexing his hands with a smirk, Naruto twisted his arm facing upwards, noticing the small circular dial on his wrist. Giving it a little twist, the generator hummed quietly as small green lights on the generator and gauntlets switched on. Within a matter of seconds, blue energy left his fingers and spun like a miniature maelstrom above his palm. Finally, a small bit of energy leaked from the palm, while energy from the fingers halted as the maelstrom formed a spinning ball. It would be a shame to let this go to waste in a drilling operation. I think it would do better in my capable hands. Russell Thrush, Carden Winchester, Dove Bronzewing, and Skylark Ojban motioned to a screen, with their pictures floating into a line. You four have returned here with the 2 black bishop pieces. From this day forward, you will work together as Team Cardinal, CRDL, led by Carden Winchester. The audience applauded the group as Ojban continued. Cinder Fall, Emerald Sustrai, Mercury Black, and Naruto Uzumaki, for returning with the Black King and Queen pieces. You will work together from now on as Team Carmine, CMNE, led by Cinder Fall. Naruto did a 2-finger salute half-heartedly as his team left the stage. Now I can finally get on with the fun stuff of this job, sitting on my ass, in a classroom, which I may be able to take a nap in. He glanced around. Cinder did want me to figure out the strengths of these people, and to be honest, from what I've seen, only Pyrrha and Yang are my main threats. But I haven't seen the others that took out the Nevermore. It was probably just her fiery temper that I could see Yang fight. Naruto put his hands in his pockets. Better not judge their strengths on their auras either, considering that would mean Jaune was stronger than Pyrrha. Weiss huffed as she stomped over beside him. Oh no, what's wrong with her? I wasn't really paying attention. Naruto groaned silently. Hey Weiss, you alright? He tilted over so she could hear his whispers. I can't believe I was not chosen as the leader. While that brat was, she's only a child. Weiss glared at Ruby. Calm down, Snowflake, Naruto hummed. You know, it can be good not being chosen as the leader. Really? Weiss muttered sarcastically. From what I know and personal experience, yeah, Naruto shrugged. Usually the best fighters are never the leaders. I mean, look at Pira, he motioned with his head. Probably the best fighter here, still not the leader. Naruto nudged Weiss's arm. Just think of it like, your skills are more valuable spent fighting than leading. It's the same for me. I'm a crap leader, but I sure can fight. Well, I guess you could look at it that way, but why? Ruby of all people? She's so childish, annoying, it's just so frustrating, Weiss complained. Naruto rolled his eyes. Probably better than a little bitch like you. He mumbled quiet enough not to be heard. Well, Weiss, don't ask me everything. I don't have all your answers. I never made the teams. He shoved his hands in his pockets. Weiss continued her huff. What is she doing? Naruto's eye twitched as he felt Weiss leaning on him slightly. Why is she getting so close? I was trying to get rid of her. Students, the future huntsmen and huntresses, everyone glanced up to see Glinda, standing on the font of the stage. Within the coming weeks, you all will begin your training and will face adversity. This training will be with you for the next 4 years, and will be vital towards your future. So we, teachers, expect you to meet the standards of your position. Glinda readjusted her glasses. New students will be given dorms fitted to house each team, all of which can be found at reception, along with class schedule. Ojpin walked up beside Glinda. As per the usual, you first years will be given an extra couple of days off, due to this being one of the first times for many to battle the Grim. However, in the future you may not get this chance for extra rest and freedom, but I will say this. Enjoy yourselves before you get stuck in a few boring lectures. He chuckled to himself. You're dismissed. Ugh. I'm getting a drink. Naruto sighed. A drink, really? Weiss put a hand on her hip. Aren't you a little yo? She cleared her throat. I mean, I guess I could join you. Weiss flicked her hair to the side, giving him a small smile. Did she just? No, I definitely didn't ask her out. She definitely just assumed. Naruto tilted his head at her. I'm surprised, someone like you drinking. Of course I do. I love all types of drinks. Weiss counted her fingers as she listed off different drinks. Should I tell her some of them are non-alcoholic? Nah, she's never had a drink in her life. Probably just seen her parents drink, or something. Naruto noticed a flow of blonde hair as an arm went around his and Weiss's shoulders. Hello, Yang sang out as she pushed herself between them. I'm hearing drinks. Are you two going to the club then? Sure, Yang. You going, Weiss? Nothing too strong for you. All things considered. Naruto inwardly giggled. Why, yeah, of course I will. Weiss spoke firmly. Nice. Ruby! They said they are going to. Yang yelled over as a red blur of petals appeared before them. They are? Ruby hummed. Well, I don't know. I'm not really good with crowds. And I can't dance. She poked her fingers together nervously. Is that all? Yang moved forward, grabbing Ruby in a hug. Yang, let go. Ruby squirmed out of the blonde's grip. You'll have nothing to worry about. Naruto can show you how to dance. Yang nudged Ruby's arm. Naruto raised an eyebrow as Ruby dragged Yang back, as they exchanged whispers with each other. Sorry about that. Yang scratched the back of her head. Right. Naruto hummed. You guys, Blake sighed with enthusiasm. Shouldn't we find our dorms before you all get wasted? Fair point, Blake. Guess I'll see you after. Naruto spun out of the group, heading for the only green and silver-haired duo. So, what's on the agenda? Naruto yawned in boredom. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. Cinder spoke softly behind him. Have you learned what I asked you for? Mostly. I could probably put everyone here into a ranking of power, with anyone who could be a noticeable threat. Naruto glanced at Cinder with a cold look. And I see they have opened up to you. Very well done, Naruto. Cinder mocked as she stroked his cheek. Roman has got your first payment. I'm sure that won't be an issue. Naruto narrowed his eyes. No, it won't. Have anything else for me to do, Mayam? Naruto grumbled. Lose the attitude. But I do have a job for you. Cinder's eyes glowed. Regarding your alias. Kurama, was it? Naruto tensed slightly. She knows way too much about me. Only Neo knows about my alias, and it's not like she can run her mouth. He nodded, taking note of Cinder's sly smirk. That's right. So, you're sure you don't want to come, Merc? Naruto asked, laid back on his bed holding the scroll above his face. If you came, it would still be like 3 girls to 1 guy, he dully stated, more focused on his scroll. Nah, not my scene. Mercury laid in the bed opposite Naruto, playing a game on his scroll. Fair enough, not like you need to play or have any need when you got that. Naruto motioned to Emerald with his feet, but ended up pointing to Cinder. Dude, really? Mercury threw a pillow at him. Nah, Naruto just backhanded the pillow to the floor. Sorry, just a bit distracted by all these chats. Really? Emerald snatched Naruto's scroll as he just groaned in annoyance. Hey, who's melted cream? And snowdrip? She hummed, scrolling through his scroll. Secrets, Emerald, secrets. Naruto snatched his scroll back. Hey, what's my name in there? Mercury asked, not really bothered. Air. Rusty, I think. Not thought of one for Emerald yet, and blowtorch for the lovely Cinder. Naruto ruffled up his hair to give himself a wild look. How do I look, by the way? Naruto turned his body to Emerald. Naruto wore a plain orange button shirt left untucked and the top 3 buttons undone, a silver fox head necklace, as well as slightly baggy black pants and trainers. Well, edgy teen comes to mind. Emerald shrugged. I can work with that, believe it. Naruto winked. Oh, and Emerald, don't take my things again. He plucked behind her, taking a wallet in his hand. I was raised by a professional after all. Also, when you take things, make sure they actually have money in them. Naruto showed her the empty wallet. A knock on the door halted Naruto. Glancing between Emerald and the door, Naruto clicked his tongue. Well, that's my cue. Naruto bolted out the door, making even Cinder sigh. Is this the place? Jaune nervously pointed to the club entrance. While the group, consisting of Jaune, Pira, Naruto and Team RWBY stood outside the club. Yeah. Come on. Jaune cheered, physically dragging an unenthusiastic Blake inside. I'm not so sure anymore. Ruby peered at the entrance from behind Naruto. Just live for a bit, sis. You're supposed to make your mistakes in your teens. Jaune grinned. Fine. Ruby stepped away from behind Naruto. You alright, Rubes? Naruto raised an eyebrow as Ruby glanced around rapidly. Ruby? He asked. In a blur of red, Ruby latched herself on Naruto's arm. Yeah, I'm okay. It's just, I'm not good with people. Me either. Naruto glanced to his other arm to see Jaune latched on. Naruto twitched at Jaune but blinked as he saw Pira deflate slightly, making eye contact to get the redhead's attention. He pointed to himself, getting no reaction, before he pointed at Jaune, getting slightly widened eyes. Naruto nodded in understanding. Hey Jaune, be a gentleman and help your teammate go in the club. He shoved the blonde off him and into Pira's arms. We better get after Yang before she gets annoyed. Very well. Weiss hooked her arm in Naruto's, dragging himself and Ruby along. Come on, Yang. Naruto, beat her already. Done. Naruto slammed a shot glass down on the bar. 20 shots, 5 seconds. I am on point today. He patted Yang's back. Junior, she's paying for these. Yang groaned in annoyance as she fished the money out. You people are insane. Weiss hiccuped. A blush spread across her face. I know, they are so cool. I could never do that. Ruby giggled. Wanna dance now? Ruby hummed, the drink's already broken her nervous shell. Come on. She dragged Naruto down to the dance floor. Like you can dance, this is your first time to a club. Naruto hummed. Yang told me everything. All you need to do is shake. Ruby shook side to side. Alright, I'll take your word for it. Naruto put his arms around her waist. But maybe I'll have to teach you a bit. He leaned down, placing his forehead on hers, silver eyes looking into blue eyes. What are you going to teach me? Ruby pressed up against him unintentionally as she moved her face closer. Well, there are a few things. Naruto inched closer, stopping with the slightest gap between their lips. Both of them paused with small hesitation, but Naruto shook his head. Things probably better in a sober mind, especially for your first time, Ruby. Also, you're a bit of a squirt right now. Naruto backed his head away. I am not a squirt. Ruby stuck her tongue out. Aren't you two getting along? Yang came up behind Naruto, giving him and Ruby a stretched hug. I'm feeling left out here, she pouted. I want to dance and you two are the only ones dancing, and you're doing it by yourselves. Sister sandwich, Naruto hummed. Oh? Feeling lucky? Yang hushed. You two, Ruby pointed over to the group table. They're trying to call us over. Fine. Yang complained, as all three of them moved back. What's up? Well, we're thinking of going back to the dorms now, Pyrrha smiled, as Jaune lay passed out with his head on her lap and Weiss passed out, leaning on her shoulder. We just wanted to tell you in case you wanted to come or stay. Oh. Naruto slumped down into the booth. You leaving too, Blake? He nudged her to get her attention, like any drunk would. Yes. Blake sighed, as she was reading a small book. Why you reading in a club? Naruto rested his head on Blake's shoulder. Blake twitched, giving an annoyed look at Naruto. I don't drink, and I am not going to dance in a shady club. She flipped the page in her book. Then how about we get a bite to eat in a reading cafe? Naruto hummed. No, Blake sighed. I don't date drunks, nor are you my type. Welp, I know when I aren't wanted. Naruto sat up. You guys are party poopers. Let's dance the night away. Yang motioned towards the dance floor. Naruto jumped up beside the fellow blonde, giving her a high five. Yes, Naruto, anyone else? Sorry, Yang, I'm a bit tired. Ruby hid her yawn with her hand. Naruto hummed. Hey Yang, you still want to dance? It will just be us. Yang shrugged. Sure, see the rest of you later. She grabbed the back of his shirt and pulled Naruto down to the dance floor. Amateurs. She turned round, grinding up against him. You're awfully forward, you know that, right? Naruto slid his hand up her thigh. Hey, you were the one giving all those hints. I caught you giving me some looks, and I liked what I saw, so... Yang gripped his collar. Naruto was jerked forward by Yang's tug. With no hesitation on her part, their lips met. It took a few seconds for Naruto to realize the tongue that entered his mouth. Inwardly he shrugged, kissing back while his arms embraced her closer, too drunk to give a damn. Oh make! Raisin Gan! The roof of the train carriage burst outwards, sending shrapnel in its wake. Jumping through the hole, Neo rolled, catching a hook in the train with her umbrella. Adam flew up past the hole, landing in a thud. Next came Naruto, who simply reached up and climbed out. Alright, Neo, you know the plan. Adam, we need to stall until the next mountain overpass. We have some guys there that will pick us up. You know how to fight? Yeah, well, basics. My dad taught. Adam stopped as Naruto threw his sheathed sword in Adam's direction. Whatever, it's a sturdy sword and the sheath flips into a shotgun. Not too difficult to use. Shotguns got little recoil, but it might take a while to get used to it. You take out the fodder, Naruto hummed. You better not lose that sword either, got it? Yes, sir, Adam quickly snapped his reply. Naruto glanced sharply at Neo. A couple of moments went by as the two stared at each other, before they nodded at each other. Graraf. Both turned their heads to the sight of a grim, twice their size and made of pure ice. Neo, how did that type of grim make it onto a train, and why is it made of ice? Neo shrugged, with an uncaring look plastered on her face. The girl tilted her body to the side and tapped her umbrella on the ground. HM? Naruto glanced to the side like Neo. Well, if it isn't the Schneers. Die, you bitch! Adam screeched, taking shots at the ice grim with the shotgun. At least he has spirit. Neo turned her head, giving Naruto a dull look. Yes, I know a shotgun isn't going to do shit at that range. Yep, I know. So you three were thieves this whole time? Winter walked to the side of the ice grim. A sour scowl shone on her face. Father should have known hiring vagabonds would only lead to disaster. She unsheathed her saber. Yes, your father should have remembered after the last time he hired us lowly faunas to do his dirty work. Naruto smirked. And he better add sweet-looking girls to that do not hire list, or Neo here might get a little crazy. Neo blinked innocently, as she pointed to herself. Also, my little buddy Adam here is not really a thief. Wouldn't call him a good guy, but I guess Jock could also fit into that category. Naruto mocked. Winter frowned. I do not care about your agenda, however. If you surrender yourselves, I will personally make sure you reach your cells unharmed. Neo tapped Naruto on the shoulder to get his attention. That seems kind of pointless, but it is an interest question. He clicked his tongue. So Winter, how many people actually give up when you say that? Sorry, Neo just gets a bit curious. Winter deadpanned. Right. Naruto hummed. This is your last chance. Surrender or be taken down by force, Winter demanded. You, against the three of us, Naruto chuckled. Let's forget all those useless workers you have, because let's be honest, it's not going to matter how many of them there are. She's not alone. Naruto's smirk switched to a sneer. A ponytailed man giggled as he pounced beside the Schnee heiress. Oh ho ho, two little children, how exciting this must be. The man's grin and eyes continued to grow wider. Winter sighed. Tyrion, compose yourself, you are on your final warning. Tyrion faked a bashful look at Winter before twisting his head back, laughing. So Neo, you want the mad boy or Miss Tidy Whitey? Neo shrugged. Want to do triple maelstrom? Naruto charged up his generator, then sprinted forward. Neo followed him, hiding straight in his shadow. Tyrion chuckled as the ice grim began bundling forward. Neo. Chocolate maelstrom. Naruto hushed. Neo hopped up onto Naruto's shoulders in a crouching position. Reaching 15 feet of the ice grim, Neo leaped up in the air, while Naruto went down to slide on his knees. Winter gritted her teeth as she tried to move the ice grim faster, but Neo managed to whack its head twice before it could react. Combined with Naruto sliding between the grim's legs, bashing them as he went past, the ice grim tumbled onto its face. Sliding to a stop, Naruto raised his hands upwards. Not having to look up, Neo landed on his hands before he tossed her back above the grim. Forcing the umbrella down, a blade popped out from the umbrella tip, piercing the grim's dome, destroying it. Naruto glanced backwards as Neo gave him a wordless statement. What a shame. Tyrion clapped his hands together, all giddy. Tyrion, take them down, Winter demanded. Tyrion continued laughing, his wrist blades expanding into pincer shapes. Neo, vanilla maelstrom. Neo hopped on his shoulders again. Unlike last time, she wrapped her legs loosely around his neck. Smirking, Neo fell sideways, hanging upside down on Naruto, using her small stature to her full advantage. Naruto, on the other hand, extended his arms out wide as two large Raisengans formed in his palms. Get ready, Neo. Naruto squinted his eyes as Tyrion began to sprint at them. Gahaha. Tyrion pounced in a spin. Now Naruto glanced to the side to see the Raisengan taking a shuriken shape. Neo lifted herself up before dragging herself and Naruto down. Being fully pulled down in what could only be described as a two-person handstand, Neo flipped, throwing Naruto in the air. Raisin shuriken. Naruto hurled one, straight at Winter as he flew through the air. Winter flipped her sword around, as a glyph appeared under her feet. The glyph bounced Winter into the air, as another glyph appeared in the air. Taking another bounce off the new glyph, Winter avoided the Raisin shuriken and shot herself towards Naruto. Winter took a slice at Naruto before he could throw the second. What? She blinked in confusion as Naruto shattered like glass. Raisengan! Naruto yelled as he appeared in the air next to Winter, shoving a spinning dust ball into the side of her ribs. Winter bit her lip to stop herself from making any noise of pain. The force sent Winter flying over the side of the train. She gritted her teeth as more glyphs appeared, a double-layered glyph under her and several glyphs around where Naruto was falling. Shit! Was all he could mutter as Winter shot towards him, while he was unable to dodge yet. Winter bounced up onto the train, going between each of her glyphs, slicing Naruto up like a shredder. Before she tackled Naruto to the ground, taking out her dueling knife from her saber and bringing it down. Surrender, now! Winter narrowed her eyes. Naruto had grabbed her wrist to stop himself from being stabbed but was now pinned down by her. If you do not give up, your partner may not be so lucky. Tyrion is not one to take prisoners. Naruto glanced down the train to see Neo and Tyrion trading blows. The latter showing to have the advantage in experience and heaviness of blows. Naruto flinched as he saw Neo was covered in light bruises but smiled, noticing a large cross-shaped cut on Tyrion's chest. Nothing fatal, but he guessed it would leave a scar. Naruto glanced back at Winter, looking past her with a smirk. You're just like your father. Naruto chuffed. No, you're not, are you? Naruto chuckled lightly. Joining the military, becoming a huntress, tell me something. Winter glared silently at him as she continued to try press her blade into him. Do you think good old Jock will allow you to continue down this path? He has killed many faunus in his company's name, treated workers like slaves. Let's be honest, Winter, are you really going to become a soldier or an heiress? What are you getting at? She snapped. Nothing really, just strawberry maelstrom, Naruto called out. What? Winter changed her attention towards Neo. The girl cockily smirked, spinning on her heels. Neo ducked under Tyrion's blades and sprinted towards Naruto. Time's up. Naruto let Winter's wrist go, allowing her blade to penetrate his shoulder. In that moment, with his free hand, Naruto grabbed the back of Winter's head. Using the unbalance she was currently feeling, Naruto slammed her head down on the train and shoved her off him. Neo! Naruto raised his hand, grabbing a handle of an umbrella as Neo passed him. With little effort, Neo threw Naruto to his feet and gave him a look. Naruto glanced back, noticing Tyrion on their tails. Oh? He gave her a look and a nod. Neo passed her umbrella to Naruto and took the cane. They stole for Roman out, taking a shot from the cane, the explosions from the dust flare stopping Tyrion. Neo, come on. Neo nodded, shooting another flare upwards before jumping on Naruto tightly. Hey Adam. The redhead faunus turned his head after cutting another Shinee worker down. Keep the sword, we're out. Naruto winked as he leaped off the side of the train, opening the umbrella. See you later, chumps, he yelled, as the speed of the train holstered the open umbrella up into the air. Woohoo! Naruto screamed as the duo reached their highest point. Neo. Naruto looked down as the girl looked up at him. I know this umbrella is special, but we're a bit too big to do this. Now a creaking noise started up. Neo internally groaned as the umbrella flipped the wrong way, dropping the duo to the ground. A full 10 feet, onto the side of the train tracks. Ow! Knife, still in, shoulder, Naruto yelped as they remained lying on the ground dazed. Let's never use that umbrella escape again. Ugh! Naruto groaned. I can't remember the last time I got so wasted when I went out drinking. He opened his eyes to darkness. Hair. He closed his eyes again, realizing he would see nothing with the amount of hair in his face. Naruto reached forward with his hands, must have crashed with Neo again. Naruto pulled her in closer. He ran a hand down her stomach. Naruto reached down, grabbing her thighs. Neo is tiny, this isn't Neo. He slowly moved his hand away, as he edged back to move his face from the forest of hair. Blonde. Yam? Naruto sighed quietly. Maybe I should just hide and pretend. Now I can handle Yan even if she went berserk. He paused. No, I can't. Hiding would be the best method of survival. That and hide it from Roman and Neo. In that situation, it will always end with an umbrella to the nuts. Turn the heating on. Naruto cracked his neck around as Yang shivered. She reached around, as she searched for the missing warmth. Ugh, geez. Yang sat up, her eyes searching for something warm. Hey Naruto. Yang yawned. What? She gave him a strange look as Naruto averted his gaze. What? Am I allowed to look, or are you going to be mad? Naruto pointed in her general direction. Huh! Yang looked down, noticing she had her shorts and bra on only, the latter with the straps hanging loosely. Just look at me and tell me what happened, she groaned in frustration, holding her head. Nothing serious. Naruto spat out quickly, in a diffusing attempt. I can tell, we never did that. Yang fixed her straps. But what did we do? She looked around for the rest of her clothes. I mean a big bit of kissing and grinding. Naruto rubbed the back of his neck. I may also have played with the fun bags for a while. Is that it? Yang glared dangerously in his direction. Naruto shrugged. I passed out before you, so unless you want to confess something? He shivered. Nah, she definitely passed out before me. Do you want me to kill you? Yang gritted her teeth. I was under the impression I was going to die either way. Naruto rolled his neck. And I'd like to see you try kill me. He reached over to his hanging coat, taking a flask out of the pocket. Are you seriously still drinking? Yang commented on Naruto taking a gulp of the burning liquid. Naruto glanced dully at her, swirling a bit of alcohol in his mouth for a minute. Never taking his eyes off her, he shrugged. If you want to explain to everyone what we did sober, be my guest. Yang took a sharp breath, snatching the flask and downed it. Almost immediately after, began choking and spluttering. Fuck, that's strong. It's a small flask, so I put the stronger stuff in there. Probably about an 85% rating. Naruto leaned down, grabbing the remainder of Yang's clothes off the ground. Here. He tossed them on her lap, and took his flask back. Ugh. Ruby is going to kill me. Yang put a hand to her face. How so? Naruto grabbed his shirt, slipping into the sleeves. It's well, alright, but you better keep this a secret. She can't know I told you. Yang sighed. Ruby has a crush on you. Naruto nearly spat in laughter. What? Yang, I know that. Naruto waved her off. Ruby goes red whenever we talk, she acts weirdly. Oh, the list of hints go on. If you knew, then. Yang started. Look, it's complicated. Besides, I'm not the best guy material anyway. Naruto finished putting on the rest of his clothes. Well, yeah, but nothing. Classes haven't even started, and you want me to go out with your sister after going to bed with you. Naruto cracked his neck. Nothing personal, but these types of things come naturally. If we date, we date. If we don't, we don't. He paused, and I probably have more of a thing for you now since we did sleep together. But nothing happened. Yang bounced off the bed, hooking him in the jaw. Naruto twitched, kicking upwards, returning Yang's jaw the same favor. Although she stumbled back on the bed. Damn, how are you flexible enough to kick me like that? Oh my, sister taught me this. Naruto twisted his leg before putting it back down. Yang shuffled back on her feet. You don't look flexible. It's surprising. Want me to teach you? Naruto clicked his tongue, only for Yang to smack the back of his head. Deserve that one, but could you stop hitting me for 5 minutes? This is my house. You could at least be thankful I let you in here. He huffed. Also, that is my sister's bed you have slept in, and I would like to leave before she gets back. Geez, don't be so sensitive. I'm only messing with you. Yang nudged his arm. Sorry. Naruto sighed. I'm just grumpy in the morning, and hangovers don't help. A sound of clutter outside the door stopped the two for a moment. Just go, let's just climb out the window, please. Yang rolled her eyes, opening the window, and looked out towards the ground, shrugging. Being fancy, she flipped out the window. Just as Naruto put his foot on the ledge, the door eerily creaked open. How's the triple melt? Naruto spun around to face the petite girl in the doorway. Neo smacked her umbrella in her hand as she elegantly stomped towards him. So what the fuck were you doing with that bitch in my bed? Neo stopped in front of him. Her upwards glare still managing to make Naruto feel small despite the difference. Naruto waved his hands in front of him as a defense. He gave her a pleading look. Look, we just hugged a bit and collapsed in your bed. I'm sorry I was drunken. He yelped quietly as Neo whacked his shin. Of course you were. Neo flailed her hand to express her point. I told you to stop drinking multiple times. Oh sure, but you don't mind me drinking with you, had drinks and danced together, eventually towards us cuddling on a bed. Naruto shook his head. Neo stomped on the spot. Why do you think I do that? I don't know, you rejected me before so I'm out of answers. Naruto sighed. Neo stopped her, glaring. Sorry. No, I'm sorry. They stared at each other awkwardly for a moment. Come here then. Naruto leaned down as Neo stood on her toes, giving each other a tight hug. Things were much simpler when we were kids. Neo moved her head back into his sight. It was better back then. You were better back then. Neo slumped away from the hug. Naruto turned away from the petite girl. It can never be the same as back then, and no one can change that. He leaped out of the window. Never, huh? Neo tossed her umbrella at the door in frustration. Thanks for waiting up, young. Naruto complained. I knew you'd catch up. Yang waved off. Well, you're lucky. If I might have just said I banged the Yang to everyone. Naruto ducked under a right hook. Yang, you really are violent, you know that, right? Yang hummed. That's because you're cheeky. Oh, I'm not too bad. Most of the time. Naruto put an arm around her waist and pouted, resting his head on her shoulder. And you are annoying. Yang giggled, grabbing his head in a headlock. Not complaining though. She ruffled his hair roughly. Yang! Naruto! The two blondes were instantly tackled to the ground, in a pile of rose petals. You're both alive. Are you two okay? Where were you? Ruby panicked on top of the two of them. Are you trying to help them or hurt them? Weiss huffed. Blake followed silently behind them, a small book in her hand as she glanced between the people and the words. The three on the ground shuffled back onto their feet. I am curious to where you two have been? She put a hand on her hip. Just at his place. I just crashed there for the night. Yang patted Naruto on the back. Yep, she stole my bed so I had to sleep on the couch. Naruto sighed, getting Yang's attention. Got to say, she's grumpy in the morning, but hey, at least she doesn't snore. Hey, that's... Yang paused. I'm not grumpy. Naruto dived away from the blonde, literally rolling behind Blake. Help me, Blake, she's a mad woman. Her eyes rolled but never left the book as Naruto peered over her shoulder. Go and get her, Blake, don't worry, Yang's not very flexible. Right. Blake looked at Yang and raised an eyebrow. Not flexible, huh? She stated monotone, the smallest of lip twitches appearing and disappearing in a second. Do you need to make fools of yourselves all of the time? Weiss crossed her arms. Don't be such a downer. Weiss. Yang looked around. Naruto? She asked as the blonde disappeared from behind Blake. Yes, Sunshine. Naruto appeared behind Weiss, making the heiress jump. Now that is an interesting semblance, Blake. I should report to Cinder that I have found out everyone's semblance in this year. Well, who have one at least? Whoa, you're fast too? Ruby piped up. Yeah. Naruto flinched slightly at the outburst. But I am not quick. He stuck his tongue out. Ruby tilted her head in confusion. The other three on her team groaned while shaking their heads. But if you're really fast, you would be quick. Ruby hummed in deep thought. You really shouldn't think about it too hard. Naruto stepped back from the group. Unless you want to. Oh, this is not working out for me today, he sighed. I'll catch you later. Are you okay, Naruto? Ruby darted to his side, nudging him. You seem a bit off this morning. Yeah, fine. Ruby's rubbing her head. Naruto pushed her playfully away. I probably should just get back to my team. They might be missing me. He sighed as he left the group. Thought I'd never get away from them. Naruto pulled out his scroll, a message from Neo appearing on the screen. Maybe I was a bit hard on her. I'll talk to her later. He shook his head of those thoughts. Cinder, where am I to meet? And when to begin? Naruto typed on his scroll, as a response came fairly quickly. Hopefully I still have my hair dye. Are you about ready, Kurama? Cinder hummed mockingly. Aren't you just precious? Naruto twitched. Are you just here to mock me? I thought you would spend more time planning or something. He stared into a mirror, moving a hand through his hair. Naruto gripped his hair, showing the roots. Alright, the dye is set. Looks natural enough, he commented on his now red hair. You look decently different than before, and you pulled it off rather quickly. Cinder leaned on the wall beside the mirror. Will that definitely keep your cover? Oh yeah. Naruto reached to the side, grabbing some mascara. However, instead of his eyes, Naruto ran the brush across his cheeks 3 times. Most people think I'm human anyway, even Roman, who I shared a roof with, took about 4 years to figure out I was a faunus. He reached up to his eyes, taking out his contact lens. 4 years? Cinder crossed her arms. I mean, look at me. Compared to most faunus, I'm not very animal-like, so with a few effects, I get no discrimination from humans. Naruto stepped away from the mirror, grabbing 2 forearm-length metallic gauntlets. Sliding them on, a dark red light emanated from the small joint gaps. Cinder motionlessly picked up a bladed star from the table. What are these? She turned it in the air. Shuriken, you put a small bit of dust in them to make them explode on impact. Naruto plucked it from Cinder's hands. They're useful but a bit hard to aim. Either way, you better not fail this job or I'll have no more use for you. Cinder trailed her finger across his chin dangerously. And I would hate to dispose of you. Naruto gritted his teeth. Don't touch me. Are you threatening me, brat? Cinder growled. Naruto glanced down at her hand still on his chin, then back up to see a cocky smirk on her face. He reached up, grabbing her wrist, while his other hand shot up, gripping Cinder by the throat. Don't test me. It won't be the first time I killed my employer. Cinder kept her smirk, grabbing the hand at her throat. With a straight face, Cinder strained as she pulled his hand away, her eyes once again glowing a slight orange. I bet you never had an employer this powerful, or one that is paying you as much as me. Both true, but Naruto slammed her back against the wall. You may be powerful with that strange ability you have, he motioned to her eyes. But it looks kind of half-baked. Naruto stood close to her, pinning her against the wall. It's still enough to stop you. Cinder tugged herself out of his grip. And with it, I will get what I like with it. Naruto rolled his eyes. Whatever. I have a job to do. He sighed as Cinder stepped in front of the door. What? You have at least an hour to spare before you need to go. Cinder smirked. And? He replied dully. And as I said, I always get what I want. She stepped in front of him, their eyes burning in a staring contest. Cinder shoved him back on a wall. I hate you with a passion, but... She leaned in closer. I take what I can get. No. Naruto awkwardly sidestepped her. You look great and all, but you are like the opposite of my type. We don't need to like each other to do it. Cinder cracked her neck. Offer's nice, but still a no. Naruto shook his head. Cinder chuckled. You leave and I'm not paying you. Stay and I'll pay extra. Naruto stopped on the spot, turning his head back towards her. It's not a bad deal for you. Why? You chose me out of everyone, and why would? Naruto paused. You just want to show who is in charge around here, don't you? Have you seen the people around us? Why would I even want to touch some of them? Cinder walked over to the chair and sat down. But you don't seem to understand the position you're in. You have two choices. Stay here and have a pleasurable time with me, or you can leave without any money and I can expose your criminal status to all a beacon. Choose. You'll just expose. You haven't done anything yet, and you'll be found innocent. Naruto trailed off. I do have a question. He glared at Cinder. Any particular reason you chose me over? I don't know, Mercury. You weren't really a choice. You were just the best out of the trash, and I have needs. Cinder smirked, motioning him over with her finger. You know your place, don't you, little fox? She sinister personality physically plastered in her eyes. Naruto stepped back in hesitation. No, I can't back down from Cinder or Roman, and Neo will be in danger by my association. He groaned, unstrapping his weapons and slid over beside Cinder. I can't win. Are you okay, and Kurama? Roman whispered as he peered his head around an alley corner. Naruto remained silent, now wearing a long white cloak with flames licking the bottom. Kurama? Roman turned back, unable to sense any emotion, partially due to silver fox mask covering his eyes. I don't want to talk about it. Naruto reached into his pocket, pulling out a tri-pronged kunai. Let's go. He darted to the side of the building, subtly. Stopping nearer the entrance, Naruto crouched behind the architecture of the building. Hidden from the guards at the entrance, Naruto stepped closer to them, making sure he was out of their peripheral. Naruto, pause. Roman spoke into his earpiece as he fiddled with his scroll. Just wait 5 seconds. Naruto glanced up, noticing the camera. Go. As the words buzzed into his earpiece, Naruto was instantly behind the guards. What was all the guards could get out before they collapsed? Naruto waved the red head over. Roman strutted over, still fiddling with his scroll, and there we go. He hovered his scroll over the security panel, watching it turn green as the door opened. How many? Naruto asked, taking a look inside. 11 on this floor, Roman replied. All security is down here, just make sure they don't make a call. Naruto, motionless, took 3 shuriken out with his left hand. Got it, the blonde charged in, jumping to the wall. Using the protruding frames, Naruto quickly managed to climb up to the top of the room. Moving along, Naruto glanced down, taking note of all the guards. I'm going. He hurled the 3 shuriken in his hand, each one making their mark into the 3 furthest guards, jolting them as the shuriken exploded with lightning dust. We're under. Naruto landed on the guard, talking, gaining the attention of the remaining 7. Freeze. The guards all pointed either a gun or sword at Naruto. The blonde hummed, raising his hands in surrender. All right, I'm arresting you on assault, trespassing. A guard approached Naruto from behind with a pair of handcuffs. And you will. Naruto jumped up, backflipping over the guard as he snatched the handcuffs away. Pouncing forward as soon as he landed, Naruto smacked him over the head. Naruto waved at the remaining guards as they got ready to attack, but a dust flare hit 4 of them. Are you having a party without me? Roman strolled in, spinning his cane. Noticing the guards' confusion, Naruto quickly knocked down 2 other with a spinning kick. Whoa, there the hook and Roman's cane shot off, grappling the last guard's collar, and threw him back against the wall. So, you going to tell me what's wrong already? Roman walked over to the elevator button and pressed it. Naruto mumbled under his breath, I know you usually talk to Neo about these things, but I'm still here and very much your handsome brother. I wouldn't say handsome is the word to describe you. Charming would work better for you. Naruto walked over beside Roman. You're avoiding my question. Roman leaned on his cane as the elevator door opened with a single guard. I don't want to talk about it. Naruto rushed forward, slamming the guard's head against the elevator before tossing his body out. Is this another phase between you and Neo? Roman pressed the button for the floor. Because trust me when I say this, I have more problems between you two than I've stolen stuff. Naruto sighed. No, it's not Neo. Well, we aren't in the best place right now, but it is nothing that I can't deal with. So what's wrong then? Just tell me, or you are going to tell me when you get drunk. Roman hummed as the elevator doors opened to a surprisingly empty room. Come on, I won't hear the end of it when you are drunk. Might as well tell me in advance. He took out a large memory disk from his pocket. It's complicated. Naruto watched as Roman plugged in the memory disk to the hardware and began hacking. Roman did a mocking hum. It's a bit. Naruto opened his clothing slightly to show his chest, filled with scratches, kisses and bites, but also some serious burns. God! That looks rough. Roman flinched, noticing the blonde skin was badly bruised. I think Neo was right to be angry with you. If you got drunk with that blonde and that's what happens. It wasn't her. It was Cinder. Naruto looked down. Cinder? Why would you? I heard you always complain about working for her. You only stay because the money's good, and why are you doing those things? You're not legal, bud. Roman groaned. It is not really, by choice. Naruto readjusted his clothes. Roman sighed. Do you want me to talk to her? I can persuade her to stop. No, my life, my choice. You know I don't like you getting involved in my problems. Naruto pressed the elevator button as Roman finished his hack. Don't mention this. Naruto moved his hand up and down his body. To anyone, especially Neo. I don't like this, but you have my word that I won't say a word. Roman tapped his cane awkwardly. Naruto nodded and hummed in thought. What is it? Naruto shrugged. I was just thinking, Cinder never got off me the whole time and and? Roman edged on, annoyed by the blonde, as he dragging thoughts on. Naruto scratched the back of his head nervously, and I'm just wondering if I messed up Cinder's plan. He gulped. Because I never used protection. Roman gave him a dull look. And we did manage a couple of rounds. For fuck's sake, Roman complained as the elevator doors opened. Uncle Roman, huh? Naruto gagged at the idea of his and Cinder's child. Oh? Naruto paused as he noticed a few familiar faces. Roman, if you could do your thing. Roman stepped forward, waving at the group in front of him. Oh, hello Red, I see you brought some friends this time. He strolled up cockily as the group took out their weapons. Ah, isn't this nice? You got all these friends to play with. How about you get acquainted with my friend? Kurama, if you would. Naruto stepped forward with narrowed eyes. Why can I tell this is going to be a common occurrence, he thought with frustration. Naruto stepped in front of Roman, cracking his neck and clearing his throat. Would you look at that, for little huntresses? Or are you just girls with toys? His voice deepened to change its sound. I wonder if I can beat the whole of Team RWBY. As far as I can tell individually, they lack the skills and experience I have from being a mercenary. So it looks like Roman has a new lackey? Yang punched her fists together. Oh yeah, we're a team now. They can't beat us because we're the best. RWBY took out her scythe with a spin. Weiss huffed, and Blake just nodded as the rest of the team took out their weapons. Aren't you girls being a bit optimistic? Thinking you can stop criminals because you have some fancy weapons? Naruto shook his head slowly. I am Kurama, and I have killed several huntsmen and huntresses in my time, so I suggest you leave. Kids like you won't go on my kill record. Naruto watched as the four tensed with a trace of fear. Good. If I do this right, they will be too scared to fight, and we can go on our merry way. You said Kurama, right? Weiss stepped forward, standing in a pose with a failed, intimidating look. It's you, you're the one my father locked up after you attacked my house. Naruto suppressed a growl only fair when he destroyed mine. He closed his eyes, clearing his thoughts. So, dear little huntresses, are you going to get in our way? You are free to leave, Naruto shrugged. You two are just scared by our awesome Team RWBY, cleared her throat, changing her composure. I'll probably beat you, by myself. Yeah, you scared. Is she trying to copy me? I mean, RWBY does have the same pose as me during Emerald Forest, but it is a shaky imitation, Naruto sighed. Very well then, Roman, get out of here, you'll just get in the way. Ladies, Roman tipped his hat to them as he ran around the building. Hey, RWBY yelled as she began to give chase, but 3 shurikens stuck the ground in front of her and exploded, halting her run. Hold up there, little red, Naruto chuckled. Did you forget you have to get past me? He held out his palm as Naruto's gloves glowed as a dust ball formed. I didn't forget. Yang shot herself forward. Naruto smirked as he darted forward, right in front of Yang in a whirlwind of rose petals. Rasengan. Before she could react, the orb slammed into her gut. Yang! RWBY screamed as the blonde was flung back, but Yang managed to roll on the ground as she landed, easing the damage. I'm fine, Yang grunted. She held her gut as she glared at Naruto with annoyance. Careful, that thing packs a punch. Yang pushed herself up, still holding her stomach. Yes it does, doesn't it? Naruto clicked a small dial on the inside of his wrist. A Rasengan only takes 2 hits to destroy somebody's aura. Problem is it takes time and it needs to be a direct hit. It will be hard doing that against the team. He crouched down, waiting for their next action. I just have to stall until Roman is clear. Time is on my side as long as others aren't attracted here. Weiss, RWBY called out as the Schnee created a triple-layered glyph that RWBY jumped on. Whoa there! Naruto was forced out of his thoughts as Blake and Yang began taking pot shots at him. With little difficulty, Naruto flipped back and to the side with the flexibility of a gymnast. Too slow, Naruto stopped flipping and slipped down into the splits, as bullets whizzed over his head. Phew, thank God I remembered my protective pad or my nuts would be crushed. Naruto lifted himself from the splits without using his hands. Damn Neo, not having a problem doing splits, not fair. Hiya! RWBY yelled as she blasted forward from Weiss's glyph, using her semblance to get the most speed. Naruto twitched, turning his heel and darted in the opposite direction. What? RWBY gasped in surprise as she saw him use her own semblance against her. What? Naruto narrowed his eyes as he began to outspeed RWBY. He rolled out of the semblance, as RWBY stopped her semblance. I'm faster than RWBY. Impossible. I never usually beat the person I'm coping with their own semblance because I don't have the same experience. He paused before smiling. That was the same as yours, right? Weiss stated, directing it to RWBY. She nodded in response, Little Red getting a serious face on. Naruto glanced to the black and yellow duo as they started to run at him. Yang's annoying. He flicked his hand as he took out 4 shuriken, holding them between each finger. Watch out! Blake called to the blonde. Naruto hurled the shuriken at Yang. The blonde smirked as she punched the shuriken with her rocket fists. Below, Yang blinked as a 5th shuriken hidden behind the others struck her leg. This one exploded with ice dust, not enough to hurt her but made Yang tumble to the ground with her limited movement. Blake continued, however, jumping in with her sword. Naruto met her with his kunai. They glared at each other as they exchanged blow for blow. It was quickly made clear who had the advantage as Naruto pushed her back, forcing Blake to use her semblance to its maximum. Naruto gritted his teeth in frustration as every time he cut Blake, she faded to shadow. Grr! Naruto spun, kicking Blake in the gut. He began grinning as Blake slowed down with the overuse of her semblance. Too bad, Naruto commented as Blake blocked his kunai well but fell victim to his punches and kicks. Hold on, Blake! RWBY shouted as her and Weiss charged at him. Naruto huffed as he made a final kick to Blake's head, knocking her back but also cracking her aura. Take this! Naruto gulped in shock as he felt a large hit against his temple, send him stumbling back. Before another hit him, Naruto noticed Yang had recovered and had no signs of letting up. Naruto flinched under Yang's punches. Everyone he blocked, the more his arms became numb. That's enough out of you. Naruto took several steps back quickly as he got the distance. Now with space, Naruto began to easily dodge Yang's punches while keeping an eye on the other's humph. He opened his palm as a Rasengan began forming. Naruto tossed his kunai to the ground and caught one of her fists while he hooked the back of her leg with his foot. Falling backwards with a thud, Yang couldn't stop the fully formed Rasengan striking her chest. Nearly. Naruto heard the shot as he felt a large pain in his shoulder. He looked around to see RWBY sniping him with Weiss thrusting her sword forward, dangerously close to him. ARF! Yang roared as her semblance burst into existence. Naruto smirked slyly as he grabbed Weiss's sword by the blade with his bare hand. Raf! Yang lifted herself up quickly and threw a dangerous right hook. Using RWBY's semblance, Naruto darted around Weiss, pushing her forward, putting her in the punch. Yang's eyes widened, but it was too late as her fist indented itself in Weiss's stomach. The heiress screamed in silence as the air was forced out of her. Whoa! Naruto wheezed, feeling some of the force. He stepped back in shock with slight fear of Yang's semblance as Weiss fell to ground gasping for breath, her aura gone. Fucking hell! Weiss went down in one hit. Her aura may be smaller than most other people here, but one hit. He glanced at Yang. Her semblance is gone? And her aura? So it's a final blow. Naruto shrugged as he looked at the last remaining member. RWBY stood still, shaking in fear. So it's over. Naruto sighed as he walked over to her. I didn't mean to break her. He sighed. Don't feel bad, little Rose. I won't pluck you yet. He placed a hand on her shoulder, hearing RWBY sniffle as she dropped her scythe to the ground. Naruto shook his head. I don't mess up brats, so run, RWBY. You can't hide under your hood forever. He grabbed her hood and pulled it over her face. Wait! RWBY flailed, getting the hood off her face. She spun around, noticing Kurama was gone. Unknown to her, Naruto stood on the edge of a rooftop as he glanced down at her. Kurama, I am at a good distance away now. Are you okay? I sent Neo over to help you just in case. Naruto sighed, putting his hand to his earpiece. Everything is fine here, Roman. They are only students that haven't had a class at Beacon yet. Any qualified huntsman could have wiped the floor with them. True, but Neo was insistent. A moment of silence passed. Cinder also wanted me to tell you about the classes. There are those fight classes, right? So she wants you to hold back. By how much? Naruto pondered as he stared at RWBY, trying to help her team up. Enough so it won't be suspicious that Mercury can be chosen over you in the vital tournament. Anything else? Naruto glanced over his shoulder, hearing light footsteps. He sighed as a small weight landed on his shoulders. Nothing else right now. Catch you later, Naruto hummed in response, taking the earpiece out. He rolled his eyes as a hand reached down, removing his mask, showing piercing red eyes. Hey Neo! Naruto spun around, ignoring the fact Neo had comfortably sat on his shoulders. She spun down off him, like a monkey to a tree. Neo! I have no idea what you are saying, Naruto commented to her, as she wore his mask. Neo took the mask off with a pouting face. Well, maybe you should look at my eyes more, she giggled silently. Yeah, if you are implying I look at your bust all the time, yeah, you're kind of right, Naruto shrugged. What was that? Neo put on a fake angry look. Hey, it's not my fault, you are the one that's so short I have to look down when I talk to you, they just happen to be in the same picture as your eyes. Naruto scratched his chin. Didn't you realize something was up when Roman never looked at you when you stood close together? Neo smirked, crossing her arms to put emphasis on her chest. I guess I know who the gentleman out of you two is. That so-called gentleman is always stealing your makeup. Naruto pushed her head away playfully. Want to go for a drink? Neo Butterfly blinked. You mean milkshakes, don't you? Sure, whatever. Naruto cracked his neck. But I doubt nowhere around here is still selling milkshakes at this time, so we can do it later. Neo shook her head. Geez, how hard is it to get a date? With her head turned away, the blonde was oblivious to the ice cream girl. How about we have some other drinks instead? Huh? Naruto blinked. Trying to get a favor from me, ice cream? We both know you hate me drinking and you are the biggest lightweight, what you after? Neo pouted. Nothing at all. She stomped off, leaving a confused Naruto in her trail. I hope you remember the plan, Naruto? Cinder hushed. Remember not to stand out too much with those skills of yours. She pushed him against the wall, out of sight of everyone else. Yeah, I know. Naruto looked away from her. And I'm itching for more of our activities tonight. Be a good boy and maybe I won't burn you too badly, Cinder whispered into his ear before biting it. However, it wasn't playful and punctured his ear, drawing blood. Yes, Cinder, anything for you, Naruto replied monotone with a glassy look, as his aura healed his ear quickly. That's a good little fox. She scratched his chin mockingly. Roman and Neo will remain safe as you do so. Cinder turned on her heels. You are next on my shit list, Cinder. Just you wait, Naruto snarled at her retreating form. He raised a hand to his ear, noting the bleeding had stopped before wiping away any dried blood. Looking around, Naruto noticed the familiar groups of people. All right, act natural. Naruto pulled a flask out of his pocket. Best be prepared for the day. He twisted the cap off and flung it in his mouth, allowing the burning liquid to somewhat ease his throat. Young man, are you sure it is wise to drink before your first class? Naruto paused, slowly lowering the flask from his mouth as he noticed the headmaster approach him. Naruto twisted the cap back on. Don't worry, Professor, it's, water. The flask just looks better than a water bottle. Relax. Mr. Uzumaki, was it? Ajin glanced down at the flask as Naruto nodded. You wouldn't be the first. That can work just fine under the influence of alcohol. Actually, quite a few students of mine, current and former, have had some interesting quirks to say the least. Ajin gazed around. How they got anything done is beyond me. Yeah, that does sound weird, Naruto awkwardly hummed. Are you okay, Mr. Uzumaki? Are teenagers like yourself not used to casual chit-chat with grown-ups? Ajin stared intently at the blonde. Naruto refused to make a twitch before shrugging. Actually, I just prefer talking to girls. Oh, and why is that, young man? The stare continued as Ajin searched him for a reaction. I mean, look at me, ladies' man over here. Naruto smirked. Waiting a moment, Naruto continued, seeing Ajin's unsatisfied look. What? Do you think I have a motive befriending girls, Professor? No, Ajin trailed off. You just remind of someone else. I hope you don't run like they did. He strolled past Naruto. The blonde stared at Ajin's back as he left before strutting off. Hey, Naruto! Naruto twisted his head around slowly, noticing Jaune rushing towards him, panting. Morning, he replied with a lack of enthusiasm. Are you alright? Naruto watched as Jaune continued to pant heavily, but also shake his head. I'm fine. Jaune stretched his back as he got his breathing under control. I was hoping to ask you something, Naruto hummed. I kind of noticed how well you got along with girls, and I was wondering. Jaune scratched the back of his head nervously. Could you help me ask Weiss out? And you can't do it yourself, because... Naruto sighed. Jaune mumbled, well, I don't know how to, and I'm not sure if she likes me or not. He grabbed Naruto's shoulders and shook him. And you are like the crush of those girls. You've even slept with Yang. Naruto twitched. You won't stop annoying me until I tell you how. Jaune nodded in agreement. Okay, so Weiss is uptight, so try and get the best grades. That's impossible, Jaune whined in defeat. I guess you can try and be like me, Naruto shrugged. People really don't mind me since I have no motive, no enthusiasm. I'm just so chill that people just let me into their personal bubble. He placed his arm around Jaune. So getting to know them better is a piece of cake. I don't get it, Jaune mumbled. Look, just be true to yourself, and don't try too hard to be friends. Trying too hard mostly annoys people. Naruto patted his back. And my lessons are complete. Jaune tilted his head to the side, confused. So you coming over there to say hi to your girlfriend? Naruto dashed off, surprising the blonde. Hey, wait, she isn't. Naruto! Jaune chased after him. Hello, Team RWBY! Naruto jumped up behind them, landing on Yang, the most likely one of the group not to fall over. Hey, Yang smirked as turned her head back. Hello, Blake rubbed her arm at the loud social interaction. Really, what are you doing? Weiss crossed her arms with a sigh. Why would you just jump on Sam? Hello? Jaune copied Naruto, only jumping on Weiss instead. Unlike Yang, Weiss toppled down with the blonde. Ow, Jaune, you're an idiot, Naruto spoke softly, getting a small chuckle from Yang. Hey Rubes, he dropped off young. Why are you looking so down, Big Red? Naruto squatted down in front of her so she was taller. Ruby muttered, I'm not a good leader. She looked down like she was about to cry. I couldn't help them. It's alright, Rubes. I know you're a good leader, Naruto smiled softly. Really? Ruby wiped her eyes, despite the lack of tears. But everyone has their moments, we all get nervous, we all feel we can't do enough. Naruto stood up and poked her forehead. I trust someone as amazing as you, Ruby, would be one of the best leaders ever. Just remember to drink your milk. Naruto raised his fist. Yeah. She fist bumped him. And just you wait, I'll be the best leader ever with all my moves. Ruby jumped back, doing some karate chops in the air. Whatever you say, short stuff. Naruto slyly smirked. But those moves will never hit me with those stubby arms. Naruto dashed away from her as she pouted. Hey, I'll grow taller than you. Ruby puffed her cheeks as she crossed her arms. Naruto stuck his tongue out at her. Young, Ruby whined. Gotcha. Young nodded. The blonde grabbed Naruto's waist from behind. Upsa-daisy. Young lifted Naruto up before jumping back, giving him a high-powered suplex. There we go, she commented, dusting her hands. Young, I didn't mean slam him. Ruby rushed over to Naruto with concern. He's fine. Blake crouched down beside the blonde. He didn't hit his head. But goddamn it hurt, Naruto droned out. Blake motionlessly grabbed him by the collar and forced him to his feet. Thanks, Blake. Naruto spoke gratefully as he gave a half glare to the two sisters. Having to fake my skills and take a small beating should be a regular occurrence here. Still probably better than my training with Neo. Umbrella smack every time I did something wrong. He turned his head to see Weiss was berating Jaune for earlier. Poor boy, I feel sorry for him. Naruto cracked his neck. So Blake, my friend. He could practically hear a non-existing groan from Blake as she rolled her eyes. How are you today? Not feeling like throwing anyone today, are you? You work fast, lover boy. Yang smirked, hoping for his embarrassment. Please, Yang. How could you call me a lover boy? Naruto put an arm around Blake. I'm a man, not a boy, right, Blake? He winked at her. Blake deadpanned as she stared at him. Okay. Naruto stepped back from her. It's 9:05. We're late for class. Weiss yelled with all of her might. I can't believe I'm late on the first day. Chapter end. So this part ends here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, so quickly like this video. And comment down below your thoughts about this series. Also share this story with your friends, and now it's time for me to go, bye.